That same podcast I was listening to was talking about the odd disconnect between how chastity is handled in role-playing games as a or not just chastity, but sexuality is handled as a very sensitive topic, but yet most games are all about that murder / slaughter, and how that's not discussed as a vying topic, hilariously or not hilariously. So
yeah, I mean, I'm a child of the 80s, right? And it was definitely that, right? And it's like, hey, you watch all these movies, like, oh, you're watching like fucking Stallone and Schwarzenegger movies, like dudes are getting cut in half and bleeding everywhere. Did you peep a titty?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The problem with me seeing Terminator 2 was the sex scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, as a kid, my favorite reason to watch Total Recall was
bonus breast.
Was them
like
three,
the
them
only
three
thing
titties.
Anyone knew about that movie after a while.
There were 3 titties.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That movie fueled recess conversations for years.
Like, fuck yeah, literally for me, yes.
Sometimes
Bro, I heard that was actually real.
They did a big casting call.
Urban legends.
Yeah.
I had a friend that looked like, kind of like a miniature version of the T-1000, so we would like
the
act
guy?
through,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we would act through like scenes, and I liked the one
made
where
of liquid
he let me
metal.
do the pump action shotgun and shoot him a bunch. Like, that was like my favorite thing.
Have you seen this boy?
Say hello, Internet.
Hello,
Internet.
So not only have I never seen Total Recall, but I have never had any of these conversations.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
I know what you're missing. Somebody has 3 boobs in that movie, and then an alien lives in somebody's torso.
Oh, and you also have to get your ass to Mars.
Yeah, that's right.
Total Recall is objectively a great kitschy 80s film.
I'm sure my dad watched the shit out of it because he was really into sci-fi and crap. Yeah. But like for some reason, it maybe if I saw it, I know.
Well, there's a breast involved, so probably
and it was
not
when I
around.
was in like college.
Yeah.
So like, but
I don't think
as
I've
a
actually
child,
seen it all the way through.
I knew about the only scene that I had ever seen of Total Recall before I ever watched the movie, which was when I was like 22. Was the scene where his head explodes?
Oh yeah, where he takes the head off and get ready for a surprise.
Or no, he's like
when they run out of air.
Yeah.
That.
Inside of his helmet or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't know if
eyes are popping out of his head.
Yeah. So that was the only scene that I had ever seen from it because I saw that somehow when I was a child. I was like, nope.
Yeah.
But
it looks pretty grody.
But even then, like, I knew about the 3 boob lady.
Yeah.
Like, I had never seen what it actually looked like. I just knew that it
lady was
existed.
I knew about it too for the same reasons. I don't think I ever actually seen that.
I may have manufactured it in my own memory, but apparently there was an interview with that woman.
Oh yeah.
And it's fairly entertaining.
And she's like, "Yeah, I really did have 3 boobs. I had to search to remove it." I don't know.
Right?
I know there was a movie somewhere where a lady just had one big one in the middle.
That's Futurama.
No.
Yep, that's Leela. And,
no,
she's
it was like a subtitled Asian movie.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
she had one big
boob. You're not talking about My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where the boobs are where the boobs are supposed to make one big bra.
No. The fuck are you talking?
Yeah, what are you saying?
I don't think you've ever seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
What's a human? What's it like being human?
What is happening right now?
Are you having a stroke?
Tony's been
are you okay?
No. It's a weird energy. I could have sworn. Okay, maybe it wasn't Big Fat Greek Wedding, but yeah, there's a line in a movie somewhere where someone's shoving their boobs up into a bra, and it's like, yeah, you got to make one big one out of it.
Yeah.
No, I have no idea what that is from.
Guys love it. And it's, all right, hold on, I'm going to search it.
Yeah.
It's not from my big fat Greek
Let me
wedding.
go turn my safe search off.
I can recite that movie because my family watched it like all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Because we'd watch it and be like, Aunt Vula is Tia Paulina. She's got the shell
There's probably a
book
lot
and
of overlap.
everything. Yeah, there's a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't eat meat? Oh, I make fish. Like, instead of lamb.
I could see that.
What did I do here?
I was in the when Sally's father passed, and I promise this is not a dark story.
I don't know. Now I'm doubting it.
I was in the Filipino version of this because the house was still in renovation. And there was like fucking 25 people in that house, and it's all aunts and uncles and cousins, and they all brought like fucking dish, including Uncle Moy, who brought this gigantic fish that
I
he fished.
just caught this. Big fish.
And then somebody realized nobody had cooked rice, and it was fucking dramatic. It was like, well, we can't eat yet.
I mean, we had 3 rice cookers, but we were in the middle of renovation, so what the fuck are the rice cookers, right?
Dora defined those 3 rice cookers, because 1 rice cooker could not have produced the yield that we needed at that time. But it put a damper because nobody could eat anything.
Oh.
Because no rice.
You can't get
So-
without it. That's not right.
No. It's true.
Okay, so
Alright,
what
Square,
is
do you wanna-
happening?
I
was
sent John a message.
So there was the end of the
I will
party, and
look at said
then
message.
there was an assassination attempt, which was pretty bloody. Poor Salvadora. Una Maria went like, I don't know, murder
Catatonic.
mode, but also catatonic murder mode, I guess. Killed somebody. Or many people. Killed multiple people.
As is good and proper.
Because we killed that one group and she killed everybody else.
Yeah. Oh, we had fun with that because it was all like, oh look, they're trying to jump this roof. Yeah. Yank, yank. Stab. Burn. It was like a whole bunch of that.
Jenny yelling, I am monster.
I put a whole bunch of solid footprints into people's roofs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was less concerned about the whole, like, oh, we're going to get, we're going to have to deal with the fact that we just, like, murdered some dudes in the middle of the street. And more about, like, well, shit, is somebody going to come after the household and be like, hey, who the fuck is paying for our roofs? Because I don't have any money.
I mean, they're Spanish tiles, which means that most people just have extra tiles in their house for when they fall off.
I guess
'cause
it's
that's
fair.
Normal.
Yeah, plus
We absolutely had that conversation.
Yeah,
We did?
Yeah.
Very nice. But yeah, so that happened. Salvador ended up mostly being okay after some help. Then let's see. Oh, I guess then we went back home.
And then Jenya's family showed up.
That's right.
Then my bitches showed up.
Yep.
Meet my husband.
Which means
He's not my
now
husband
this cannot be a this cannot be like a distant we'll get to it because people are here, so
Bum, bum,
a
bum.
wedding needs to happen. Because they're not gonna stay around fucking forever.
I mean,
They get other things to do.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun dun dun.
Bum, 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 bum.
You have to get married before we go off to fight the war, so then you can, like, tragically die holding hands like Tonks and Lupin.
Yeah, basically.
I mean,
Or like they
Rip
did, die
two.
off screen after
Yeah.
that's
Just have the Greek
Like
chorus
Tonks
to
and
come in and be
Right.
like,
yeah.
and then they die.
And not just in the movie sense, like in the book too. It's just like,
Yeah.
whatever, die off screen.
Yeah.
Right.
Fucking rude.
By the way, these people died. Be sad.
But you invested, well, fuck you.
Yep. I mean, there's another person in that affected Lisa personally, but yeah,
She's like, don't you dare.
in that pile of folks, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, As an addendum.
When I got to that part of the book, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning because we went to the midnight release of the book, in Santana Row, and then I'm just in my room under that like little lantern I had above my bed reading the book, and I just start screaming, and I throw the book across my room. My mom runs in because she thinks I'm dying, and all I can do is scream, "You fucking killed one! He's dead!" And she's like, "What is wrong?" I have problems. Yeah, it was a thing. And then that book sat there all night, and I stared at it and glared at it for like hours before I was able to pick it up and finish it.
It's
Bitch.
Yeah, that was a decision.
Yeah.
You chose poorly.
My babies.
All right.
They died because I loved them.
I'm in that club.
That's
Lisa.
true.
I am firmly in that fucking club.
I always tell him,
For that
don't
one,
like
you-
this character. Then they're going to die.
Well, in that particular case, you can blame the author.
Yes.
Fuck that hoe.
Agreed.
I mean, among many things.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm on page 3 of movie quotes that reference breasts to try to find this fucking...
I think you made it up. I don't think it exists.
I do think you made it up.
Also, that is going to be a lot of stuff to go through, I'm sure.
Hey, when you're committed to the craft, you know.
I must know so much tit.
Yeah. Tony, you're a gentleman and a scholar.
Sure. I say as I scroll.
Hey, knowledge
No, it's
doesn't
not.
choose.
I mean, maybe it's movies because there's technically a movie of this, but yeah, there's a Foxworthy joke in here, and Pryor who
Yeah,
also
you are in an exhaustive list. Think about this. If you feel bad about what you're doing right now, you are perusing this list. Somebody took the time to compile this list, and it probably took a long ass fucking time. It's like
Maybe.
a labor of love.
maybe.
Bunch of crazies.
All right. So, you now all find yourself at a very crowded house. I will drop in the Discord in just a second an exhaustive list of everybody who's here.
Fun.
Because there's a whole crew of uncle, aunts, and cousins who are now here at this house. Slowly.
Oh, he said crowded house, so my brain was like, don't dream this way. And then I was like, wait, is that crowded house? And then I had to look it up, and yes, it is crowded house.
Good job.
So anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I give up.
Yeah, I think your brain is...
No, it's I have a very vivid memory.
That's just going to keep you up at night.
That doesn't mean it's real.
Yeah, it's like I don't
Everyone roll a d10.
do this.
5.
4.
I just realized I have the wrong dice set. 7.
So I think Sally gets a
Wow, I never win this.
gets an extra hero point for the session.
Good job for the lottery.
Yep.
Huzzah!
Yeah, so it's late evening, post-murder.
Are we waiting for the knife to fall over?
I took the knife out.
No.
I just know it's there.
Oh yeah, you're waiting in anticipation.
Away. Anticipation.
It would have been better not to know.
Wait, stick your finger in my ear first.
Excuse me.
Genya, your extended family stands at the door in a noisy mass
Is
of
it
people.
raining?
It is a little bit drizzling because since you killed some kind of ancient evil being that same night, because there were 2 distinct bouts of murder this night.
Yeah.
One of them
through a
more
party.
premeditated than the other. Yeah, there's been little strikes of thunder here and there, accompanied by not full-on rain, but a nice light drizzle. So yeah, there's a bunch of people discoursing. For those of you speaking Ossuran,
It's only me.
I can't remember.
No.
Marcus doesn't speak Ossuran.
Well, Evine would speak Assyrian, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Eileen has fucked off somewhere, as usual.
as usual.
They may or may not be here.
Just hear the distant sound of an echoing bell. That's not the distant sound of an echoing bell.
Yeah, wrong sound effect.
Oh, Leo
No.
and Jane are home.
Foley artist, fuck it.
Yeah, so after a little bit of confusion at the door, Zhenya, you are brought up. Ricardo is standing like behind you.
Oh shit.
Yes,
Oh
and
shit.
it is very real at this point. In front of you is your great aunt Maruska, the elder of the family. Tiny lady covered by her headscarf, her wrinkled face looking up at you
Like
expectantly.
a stretch of bad road.
We're waiting for it to not be frozen anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You think
You
it would
missed
be
it.
out and not sliced
Show him
into
the
already?
picture.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
Rude.
I thought you drank too.
I have been.
Yeah. Let's She tried to cut into it and then lifted the whole fucking thing out. Did I get a picture of you? Oh, yeah. No, there it is. Just holding it upside down because it was that solid.
I had it in the fridge all day.
Well, not enough.
It was rather crunchy when she started it the first time.
We don't have a Baker Square around here anymore.
Yeah, it would be nice. Okay, great aunt.
There's an immediate look, two piercing eyes looking into your face as you step up the door, and you get an immediate. Are you eating right? You lost weight.
Been dying.
Good snap you like a chicken.
From somewhere down the line, somebody else concurs.
It's mostly loss of blood today, but I am fine.
Oh, fucking beat up.
Just shredded.
Yep,
I'm fine.
your shirt with two like dried spots of blood on the shoulders.
The leftover of the wound from when she took the wound from Salvadora, but it has healed, but it's got the blood and, the shredding of her face and her arm. No, it will come back tomorrow. I'm fine. Welcome.
your great aunt says, "Yes, will," and she steps inside without waiting for any invitation.
Nope.
Ricardo takes a step to the right to not get in her way as she comes in, and her eyes immediately judge this house.
As soon as I see the second or third relative, I stand up and and excuse myself and walk out the back.
Run away.
And I undo my cot or my hammock and I hoist it over my shoulder and pick up my bag and I keep going.
You're like, nope.
Honest truth, it's too late for me. I probably would try to get to sleep if I could.
Yeah, you got caught in the social engagement
Yeah, I did.
because
It's fine.
the door is now open and people keep coming.
I'm probably just falling asleep on a couch.
All of my
on
children
Leandra's
take care of
shoulder right now.
themselves. And
I see.
I go up the hill. I go up to the hill and I find that same tree next to your house and put the hammock up and crawl in and tuck her out.
That's life.
I mean, it is late.
Zhenya, make sure to clear a space at the table and pull a chair out for Marushka.
Oh yeah, she's looking about.
Veronica.
Who's the strange brown girl that's sleeping on the hearth?
Cuddling bread.
You have a hearth parasite.
Hearth beast.
Earth beast.
Snoring.
We're used to creatures in the hearth.
Yeah, you notice that your great aunt looks at the kitchen, looks at Jimena on the ground, and she looks at the top of the hearth, and she gives a curt nod.
Oh, there's no Domovoy in this house.
No, she's approving
Oh.
of the kitchen,
Gotcha.
which Augustina maintains.
Yes.
So that part is good. And finally, after doing a little bit of an inspection of the premises, Ricardo, quiet as a fucking tombstone.
Totally forgot he's here.
Yeah, he's just hat off, just standing there,
She'll remember.
in somewhat petrified silence.
Xenia calls to Veronica and says, "Bring tea."
Oh, yep. I'm. Emil immediately jumps to his feet as well to go and help her, as the throng of people keep entering the house.
You're gonna have to kick him in to get her out of the way of the fire to make tea.
Yeah.
It's your turn next, Emil. Sorry.
Is there do we need to roll something to try to get to my room?
No, because
Okay.
you managed to avoid the
Do
throng.
you have a back scratcher?
Because mostly I would just be like,
I have a spot in the middle of my
if I
back.
couldn't get there,
It
I'd
keeps
probably
being
just
itchy,
falling asleep
and
on
it's
the
like,
under
you
right
know.
now.
Yeah,
that
no.
spot.
You do manage to
The
get
one
to
you
your
can't
room,
reach no matter how hard you try.
and you hear the commotion downstairs. Well, they're not particularly loud. There's just a lot of them and lots of conversation in Asuran.
I know. Normally I wouldn't be so rude, but she gets up way earlier than I do.
Well, and it's been a day. It's been a lot of action
I
happening
basically
today.
had a few days of just crafting all the way through, and so I'm exhausted everywhere. Also, my hands hurt. Just like
Yeah.
in real life.
So yeah, you're to bed. Marcus, you're probably, unless you've purposefully fucked off, you and your crew are in the middle.
Oh yeah, no. Marcus
Of this.
was sitting at the table, drinking from a mug, eating some bread, going over the night's thing, just oh boy,
I feel like Jenny just picked up his chair within it, moved him aside,
Yeah.
and then put it in.
What is happening? No, he's just kind of looking at everything, and then Klaus is over there just yeah, okay, it's fine, yeah, sure, that's a lot of people. And Heinrich is he hasn't really seen this many,
Gaggle of
this large of an actual
many
singular
live
family.
humans.
Yeah.
Yep.
This large of a live family together in
Yeah.
a long time. Also, I imagine there's probably a whole lot of not German-looking girls that are probably pretty.
There's a fair amount of Jenya's cousins there. They are all very clearly related.
Yeah.
That whole gaggle of folks there, are, they have different features, but they're all pretty on the shorter side, russet brown hairs as far as the eyes go. You see a lot of the women in the family have the really green eyes as well.
We are blessed.
Your great aunt actually, as you get close before she sits in the chair that you give her, Zhenya, casts a quick glance at the man at your side, but does not address him quite yet. Instead, she grabs your face like this and puts her nose like really close to yours. Like she forces you, like you're short, but she's shorter,
There's no force. She goes.
and she just like puts you down, and her nose almost touches yours, and you see the vibrant green in her eyes like into yours, and there's a
has to really like hold back on the urge to rub her nose like to her because Jenya's very friendly and just loving, and it's just like, no, I'm being examined, it's not time. She'll tell you when it's time for cuddles.
I feel like that.
It's like with the wild animal.
I feel like that dealt more damage to Zhenya than she's taken the entire game to this point.
Yeah,
That
there's.
is worth 5 dramatic wounds.
Well, I think
And
the
then-
only way you can really damage
She
her.
moves your face to one side and to the other, right, and sort of looking, and then you get like a very gentle pat, and she does put her forehead against yours,
Oh, there we
and
go.
Osaran says, "I've missed you, daughter."
Breaks into a huge smile, missing 3 teeth, snuggles, big hugs.
At the very end of the column, closing the door, those of you who, well, many of you have since fucked off, and Jimena's asleep, so,
Yeah, there's noise happening. None of
Yeah.
it bothers Ximena.
Jenya, you
Sleeps like a
recognize
rock.
your cousin Anika has joined the column, and straight up from Ison, the last where you've seen her from the Zobolo company. So
Does
that's
Ilya
why.
come too?
Yes.
Okay.
What about your cousin who worked at the jail?
That's Ilya.
Okay.
Or no, that's not Ilya.
He's not part of this column.
No,
Yevgeny.
it's Yevgeny. Yeah, because it's Yev.
He's not here with this column. He's
Eugene.
not been traveling with them, but
Ilya's my father.
Yevgeny has been invited. But yeah, Annika was one of the scouts you work with in
And yes.
Ison, and had promised to be down there for
wait.
the wedding.
I'm a lawyer?
Yes.
I think I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, fuck, I'm a
I heard
lawyer.
that lawyer fucked a bear at some point.
That's right. The bear fucking lawyer.
This is now a fucking Phoenix Wright game.
Right.
Nice.
In the middle of court, like,
No, well, no.
shit, I'm a
no.
lawyer.
That was the whole thing. Is like,
It's 100% a Phoenix Wright game because for half of the game you forget that it's about
Oh
being
yeah,
a lawyer.
absolutely.
Because that was the whole reason we
Who
went to
can
the
bet
prison in the
that?
first place.
That's
is
why I'm
'cause we
being
were gonna
reminded
be-
suddenly
Yep.
because
We were
Mendez y
gonna-
Mendez is
Yeah,
predominantly a law
Ricardo.
Those
firm.
are like the early days of this game. Shit.
Because we were going to be Ricardo's representation.
That's right.
Pretty sure the document hasn't been rescinded, so you're still.
Oh, you bet
You have
your
a
ass
still
I'm
Ricardo's
still Esquire,
barrister.
baby.
You're
That's
still still on retainer.
I'm a lawyer until someone tells me that I'm not.
Exactly.
Just like in
Ricardo's
real
gonna
life.
send you
Yep.
a humongous bill after you're married. He's been on retainer this whole time.
Hell yeah. It's all about that compounding interest. All right.
It's like, all right, y'all are married now. Here you go.
Yeah, Juan Mendez Esquire. That's right.
That's right. That's how you. That's how you can differentiate them.
Tony, Tony, you had a really good time. Or sorry, John, you had a really good time making these names up.
Yeah, well,
I love it.
it's.
He's like, I don't know that I would call it a good time.
This is at this point. This is what this game does. You
Oh, yeah.
notice that in the past 3 fucking sessions, there's been name dumps.
I've
Because this
been
is what
doing it in
happens.
solidarity.
No, that's fair.
Tony has staffed all the ships because I'm like
I was putting together my backstory, and I'm like, oh man, is it going to be a problem that I have like
If-
2 extra
if,
characters?
If you would
No,
like
no.
300 D&D names, I do have a
Ximena
sheet.
makes it easy because
everyone
her,
is dead.
her family is not dead. She just doesn't
One
talk
is
about
dead.
it.
My parents are dead.
Yes, in this game too.
So
Yeah.
are mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you'd like 300 D&D names, I have
To
a
be fair-
roster from when they were the
I'm not
commanders
sure
of an
we're allowed
outpost.
to know who my parents are. That's not how that works.
And I tried to make them
No,
care
you
about
are.
NPCs, and they didn't.
It's just-
Just about one horse.
Just about one horse.
Which
It
they
was
went
a
to great lengths to ensure that that horse survived.
It was very.
didn't.
It was a very special horse. Now that Zhenya has been given permission to be affectionate,
Yeah.
she turns around and she grabs Ricardo by the
Oh
hand.
god, here we go. That's why Rethel left.
You
And
feel
Yeah, Marcus
feel-
at this is like, oh, I need to go.
Yeah, the Ison
when
collectively
you grab
lean
Ricardo's
backwards.
hand, Hannah sits bolt upright.
Oh,
She's
That's
like, romance is happening.
The Isons
notice-
it's the
collectively
achievement
lean
hour.
back as if the walls are being struck for the first time.
as you bolt upright, you hear very close to you a short yelp because you notice that Veronica was kind of hunched over trying to wake you up this entire time, and then you fucking Frankenstein bolted up.
just sit up like the dead.
So she almost falls flat on her ass. Emil is just stepping forward, and he's like, "Oh well, I guess she's awake now."
Oh, good, you have someone to draw aggro if
Can
everything's fuck
you
up.
can you drop me Ricardo's whole name, please?
Oh god,
Ricardo,
yes.
Esteban,
He
has a
Fernando,
whole
Babe, I want you
He
to
has a
know
whole name.
that
Rodrigo.
this is how I know
No.
I've been around
Rodrigo's the cousin.
you.
I
Sorry.
can't hear what you're saying.
I'll
I'm
say
sorry.
this is how I know I've been around you and Lisa doing the whole K-pop thing and K-dramas thing, because in my head now the family showed up and she took Ricardo's hand and it's like a whole thing, and that's where the episode ends, and there's all these
oh, the freeze frame.
the freeze frames, and then there's all the cloudy vision
Yep,
things
the
of what's
sparkles.
happening next episode,
Yep.
because that's the dramatic moment at the end of the
Yep.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But it's things that are gonna happen 3 episodes later.
Yeah. Of
Yeah,
course.
you
Which
think
is
it's going to
really
be the next
fucking
episode,
annoying.
then it doesn't happen. You're like, wait, but it said. No.
When is this
Yeah.
shit gonna
I
happen?
was like to.
Yeah.
It's almost as if the entire production is about edging.
All right. Here it
That's
is.
the content we come
Thank
here
you.
for.
If you have your right
Or don't.
hand,
Emotional edging.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Ricardo Gabriel Mendez
Oh, honey, I
de
can't-
Manuel de San Felipe.
Anything's
Oh, shorter than I thought it was going to be. All right.
Yeah.
Ricardo.
He's not nobility.
So I guess
Gabriel,
He has about as many names as I do.
yeah. Mendez
Only 4.
de Manuel de San Felipe.
Thank you. And she pulls him in front of Marushka, and she gives a very reverent bow and says,
Betrothed, intended.
"No, I'm trying to."
Jimena has moved, and so she is just standing next to one of your relatives.
Jimena is
like-
perched on top
Yeah.
of the mantle like a
Jimena bolted
gargoyle.
upright and then floated
Right next to the cat.
Yeah.
among the crowd.
Like, so she wasn't there, and then whichever one of your relatives it is just looking like, ah! And she's like, shh.
Just full
Yeah.
hand on mouth.
Yeah.
In my head, Jimena just belly floated like a hobo smelling a pie.
Yeah. This anime shit. Just,
It's the, like in a Fantasia with the centaurs, with the, like, following the Cupid
Yep.
fucking whistles. Anyway, sorry.
I love that this language has so much word.
Yep.
Dvoy Yurodna ya Marushka. This is Ricardo Gabriel Mendez de Manuel de San Felipe
You feel,
with a
Jimena's like,
pre-
oh, she said that.
like the whole thing.
yeah, you feel every muscle in your betrothed tense all at once. He's like
She
a full
summoned
inch
the whole
shorter.
name.
in the tree next to your future home, Rethel chuckles like a really good joke just got told.
My betrothed. And then offers her his hand.
She
And then puts her hand on his back like, I'm
Go
here.
ahead now.
I won't let you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
won't let them eat you.
he
And then she bites his fucking hand,
yeah, big old trunk.
just chomps in there.
You are family now.
We've punched your
Now
card.
that we've drawn blood, you may be wed.
She takes the hand and shakes it. Ricardo returns the firm handshake, and she sits back up. She stands back up from her seat, and exactly grabs his face,
And then I
and
have some in popcorn.
he's a good amount taller than you are, so now he's holding the hat in with both hands again, and he's just like fully leaned forward. And she doesn't go quite as close, but she inspects his face carefully, and then she looks at you, and looks at your bloody shirt, and looks back at him, and the eyes are way more judging than they were when she steps into the house. And finally, she gives him a, not firm, but just sharp little slap on the cheek. And in Asuran says, "You'll do."
Oh,
Zhenya beams.
That's like the best
And-
compliment you get.
Yeah,
and then it
and
like
the-
turns to which I was like, is that a good thing?
And in Castilian
Face.
translates, she approves.
Yeah, I think the look is one of these like,
Yeah, Ricardo nods, and in Thean, shakily, is like a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
because he could have died.
It's an honor to get to meet you all. You hear Annika sort of doing like a in the background.
Hecklers.
The
Well, no,
the implied nerd in that.
and also the implication that this is all of them.
Oh, right.
Yep.
This is the tip of the spear.
This
Yeah,
is
that's
just the.
This is the vanguard.
This is the cornerstone of my mother's side of the family. My father had 11 brothers.
Yes. Also, not all of them are here because there's shit to do back at home. These are the representatives.
Yeah.
This is the vanguard. Yes, vanguard.
It's a very good word for it.
Your great aunt's eyes, however, do not leave Ricardo, much to his dismay, because now he is under analysis.
Zhenya is beaming. She
She's
fucking
just-
loves this.
She's just staring. And she sits and food is brought out, like, immediately. Augustina is like, there are too many people here not eating, and this is unacceptable. And
Which is
therefore,
the right vibe.
Yep.
Yep.
Augustina understood the assignment.
Yes. Xavier comes out with a pile of wooden chairs that he brought from the gatehouse, apparently. He piles the stack right outside in front of the entrance and gives all of them a good dusting before he brings those inside so that everybody has a space to sit, but it is crammed.
Now that there has been some acknowledgement, Zhenya whisks him up and goes, "Kasha, this is," and then she
Oh, yeah.
just goes through
There's
the
a
line,
line.
taking him to each person.
You get hugs, you get brought gifts from home, so that is...
Jimena comes out to hug him and she's like, "You already know, get out of here." Like,
Just want to be part of it.
I'm part of the wave now.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like she probably got swept into it.
Yep.
She's like, "Oh,
It's like-
okay."
This is
All
life
right.
now.
These people are all getting acquainted. Many of them, especially your cousins, speak Thean and are more than happy to. The older folks are less inclined not to speak Asuran, regardless of the language spoken to them. So,
That's about,
It's the
yeah.
colonizer's language.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, you get to meet this whole gaggle of folks. You get given like preserves and pickled stuff and objects carved from wood from back home. Just pieces of your motherland to go on about.
And then everyone remembers Vernika's there.
Yep. and she gets swept into it
I was
as
about
well.
to say, that's a hell of a thing
Yeah.
to have her upright.
From another piece.
From-
Well, she's been missing.
Yeah.
So they didn't know that
Yeah.
she
Yep.
was in distress necessarily, but just she's been missing.
Marilyn, you were sleeping and you get awoken by gasps and, sounds of excitement. I don't think you speak a certain either. You
Nope.
recognize Veronica's name and very little else.
I just laugh. It's funny.
This is life now.
I'm kind of just half dozing, but I'm not that concerned. I feel like I'm tired enough that it doesn't really matter in the end.
You're just gonna fall back asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
Rick,
talk to Leandro in my sleep a little,
probably.
or
The
maybe
hat
the
talks
hat.
back,
Yeah.
yeah.
So something's talking.
That-
Who knows?
That good automatic conversation.
The hat fills you in, but it seems ominous the way the hat says it.
Yep. Yep.
There are all of these touched people downstairs.
Yeah, so before long there is a stack of goods being provided. Marcus, and you and your folks are also getting brought into the introductions. A lot of the Asurans are quite keen to get to meet you. Annika, in particular,
Oh, right.
Speaks Ison, I imagine.
yeah,
Yeah.
introduces herself in Ison. She talks about the
Stationed in the woods.
Zovello company where she's stationed in the woods, right? Like fighting horrors out there. Of course, you know that company. That's the same one that they visited.
Mhm.
But although you have never met her specifically, you know them, you know their work. And she's like, yeah, I'm a scout with that particular company. So I ferry our troops between the various camps in the woods and try not to die, basically.
Well, he's pleased to meet at least one other person who knows his plight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He also does make a point to speak in Usuran to them.
Oh, you know Surin?
Well, he knows every language.
Oh, there you go.
And so
Okay.
that the
Nice.
I have the thing that says you
Now
speak
there's-
every language.
Now there's 3 of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Polyglot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
As you speak of Surin, you get enthusiastic responses back from all of the family. So you get a gaggle of names, all of those on this list. I'll
What's
leave
funny
it up
is
to
I don't
you.
think either of my buddies or I don't think my nephew or my brother speak all those languages. So it's just
No.
me sitting here.
Yeah, it's you acting as interpret, and
Yeah.
Klaus mostly being there and Heinrich trying to follow what's happening around and being into like sensory overload.
Good luck.
He's like near like the table, like kind of leaning forward, like you know how you do this as if it will help you somehow.
You wish.
It will help
Yeah.
your senses sharpen.
Yeah.
somehow.
Okay. I
There's-
know what you're. I don't know
There's
what
so
you're
many kisses happening.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone, 2 cheeks, big hugs. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Ricardo's getting pulled into kisses.
You get asked at least 2 or 3 times, what are you gonna do when it's time to cover your hair? Because it's coming.
She sort of looks at it like, I'm not dignifying that with an answer. And then continues on.
Yep. At least a couple of times.
The glare.
Yep.
Bitch. In my home.
In my house.
I'm really enjoying this tea. I'm sorry.
Because it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go make another pot.
Marcus, you notice.
Tea.
More tea. I'll check on the pie as I make more tea.
You notice Maruska just peeping you when you respond in Asuran.
Oh.
And
Like-
she sort of looks at that and she watches you for a few seconds talking to Asuran. And she looks up to Ricardo.
Oh no!
My boy looked bad.
Oh, that was unintentional.
No words escape her lips. And yet the message is clear.
Get the judging.
Ooh.
Emil needs to fucking take notes. You
Jimena's
need,
like, woo!
you need to tell
Marcus,
You need to tell Emil he needs to get on his fucking game.
It's like,
Marcus is entirely unaware that this is happening, like in terms of that side of thing. Klaus, on the other hand, sees it all happen. He gives it a chuckle. He's like,
Jimena's like, Emil, do you speak other language?
I'm gonna
been there.
high-low this.
Yep.
So, high, Zhenya catches the look, and
Oh, yeah.
low, Zhenya sees shit. Zhenya catches the look,
Oh no!
and just stone-faced,
Yep.
like...
Now there's a point.
That, yeah. happening.
Matriarch's gonna matriarch.
Yep.
She really has to like bite her tongue. She's gonna be like, "Don't you look at him like that. You might be my great aunt, but I can still take you."
Yeah.
What
We're
did
gonna
Emil,
wrestle.
what did Emil say?
Emil is like, I know a couple words. Like, I think I know.
Veronica's like, "Don't say the thing I taught you."
And then,
It's probably a cuss word. I mean, come on.
Don't say those.
He
No, don't say that
starts-
either.
he starts to respond, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like you think I?" And then the realization dawns upon him as he looks around, and in the good Ison he is, like he gives that haunted look, like he's suddenly surrounded by wolves.
Because he is.
Yep.
Very, very friendly kissing wolves. Wolves bearing
You
bread.
see the color drain from his face, and then he
Mostly
nods and
pickled
he's like,
items.
I mean, I'm sure he can give her a certain greeting. I'm sure
Yes.
that happens, but
yes, yes.
don't
I
say
just
the things
heard-
I taught you.
They just learned the pleasantries, like hello, goodbye, thank you.
No, that's...
Excuse me.
Where's the bathroom? This is delicious.
Yeah.
Where's
You
the
have
library?
beautiful eyes. What?
The weird shit they teach you whenever you try to learn a language, you know, like
Yep.
who's. Oh god, when I was doing my.
I'm sorry, Sal. Did you say that you wanted tea?
Yes.
Can
Okay.
I have some?
Okay. All right, John, screw over.
Yes, yes.
Sorry.
I
It's,
got
All
it.
pocket.
you just talk about learning another language, and the only thing that popped in my head was "Je suis la souffle."
Which, that phrase doesn't actually mean anything, because
No.
they're pronouncing it wrong. Which, like, what are you teaching these children, Leslie?
But it's seared into my head.
Je suis la jeune fille. Like, jeune isn't a word.
Yep.
Tony, are you still out?
No, I would like some, please.
Oh, we're playing now. Okay.
Ooh.
Where's Tony's right here?
Dear Christ! The hell is that?
It's my tea kettle.
How do
Oh,
you not know? I guess I've been here
thought I
for
was,
tea a lot
thought I
more.
was going mad.
It's like my rice cooker. When they're ready,
Thank
they
you.
sing a song.
Oh,
I like
this one's real extra.
I hope the mic picked that up.
Daffodils are my favorite flower. Well, the entire Narcissus family, but daffodils.
I'm
I've
a
said
fan
this
of
before.
Narcissus as well. I like me.
I've said this before, Lisa, but I really like my teacup.
Good.
I mean, I like mine too.
I tried to pick you all out
It's
one in
green and
mind.
it's got polka dots.
I like mine too.
What?
No, you don't, Tony.
You don't like that?
Well, now I
That's
feel
Sweet
bad
Castle.
because she's like, I like daffodils. Those are my favorite. I'm like, well, shit.
No,
now
but
I
that's
know.
why I like this one too. That's why we picked it.
Okay.
Because it's green and it's
Tony's
got
was
polka
picked
dots.
because of the castle.
I do like the castle.
Mine has maple leaves on it.
The silver,
I was-
silver maple.
I was reminded this
Yes.
last weekend of how much I enjoy naked ladies.
Bare naked ladies.
No, the flower.
Lisa's not going to get a cup with
They're
3
lilies.
boobs on it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they're lilies.
My,
Yeah.
not 3,
That's
but
right,
there's...
Oh no, not the cup with the
At our
ceramic
house,
boob cup. Oh no.
My dad got
Huzzah.
way in the early 80s. Like, I guess like some of my relatives gave him like a... He was doing Santa Claus, and they were like, "Here's a present for Santa Claus," and they gave him a joke gift, and it's the most horrendous like pink mug, and it's just a giant boob with a very prominent nipple.
See, that's the giant boob that Tony was talking about.
Right, that might have been it. And if you know my dad, like that was his
Unfortunately, no. I
kryptonite.
wish that
he
was
did
the
not
boob.
know how to handle that. So there's pictures of him looking very uncomfortable holding this giant tit, right? And for whatever unfathomable reason, my parents kept that fucking mug for years after the fact, right?
Because it was a gift.
Yeah, and they just eventually fucking tossed it, and I was like, why do you have this fucking horrendous thing? It's just like one giant boob. But yeah, so food is reset once again because that's how we do in this game. 7 meals a day.
Yes.
Gotta keep that calories up, man.
Yep.
Wow.
For all the murder and
Yeah.
and yeah, there's a lot of action. Like Xavier and Augustina are full on into logistics as to who will get to sleep where, because we can't disturb the current setup, and so furniture is getting moved ahead. Genia's relatives are very clear that they all brought their own bedrolls and are more than happy to just file dorm style into any room given to them. So, arrangements are made.
Zhenya thinks about it for a second and goes, "No, I still stay in Kasha's room."
I mean, to be fair, we do have an entire other house we could
Oh yeah,
No, a mansion.
like.
Well, we have the mansion.
One
Yeah.
one wing of
Zhenya's house.
yeah, one wing.
One wing of which we won't.
Yeah, only one wing is full of murder.
this like rich ass house that
How don't
has
Genya have another house in San Felipe?
Yes, the one I built.
yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
finished.
Yeah, it just needs furnishings. And
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
But, like,
that's
it
the one.
is-
I'm,
it is a
finished, but it's
house.
finished.
that's the one I'm sleeping outside of. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So
And it wouldn't take. I mean, it might take a little out of her right now, but like it wouldn't take much for Zhenya to just pop up another one next to it.
no, and if you want to offer it as a dormitory,
Of course.
your family are more than happy to go. It has a functioning hearth
Good.
at this point,
Yeah.
so they will go there and
send that to
be
Rabbit?
absolutely
No,
self-sufficient.
Your respite is jostled by the half of the Usurans that decided to go stay in the empty house.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, yeah. That's I hop out of the tree and I pack up my hammock again.
I'm sure they don't talk to you.
And
They just go into the house.
Yeah.
well,
Just have
I'm,
your
imagining
instructions.
I'm on the property, so
Yeah.
I'm sure they would have questions. I know how Usurans get.
Yes.
So-
There's
What's that supposed to mean?
You know exactly what it means.
yeah. Do you speak Usuran?
No,
All right.
I've always spoken Vested.
which is another reason I leave.
you see some of them.
I
like-
want to know when people are talking shit about me.
Some of them are just like exchanging words.
If they're not good at being surreptitious about eyeballing and talking shit, I give them a good old hello. As almost got you.
You get a greeting in Thien, and one of the younger folks, probably one of Genia's cousins.
Right, because the cousins are the ones who have to go take another walk to go stay at the other house. Yeah.
Yeah. You say, "Oh, good. I'm Constantine. We Genia's family. We wonder where there's men on the property."
And I take off the top hat. I'm like, absolutely. Keeping an eye on it tonight while everyone else was down there. I helped build, actually. I work with Genia.
Oh, Genia's. Oh, yeah.
And
There's
Ricardo. And
There's a gaggle of stuff happening in the Surin. Like at that point, as recognition sort of dawns upon them, a lot of words exchanged.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's like, yeah, you the Northmen.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You related to Genia's promise. Because you have same last name.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Somebody
we
uses
brothers.
a word that you surmise is like probably akin to like brother-in-law. as the family now like sort of like swarms you a little bit.
Oh no!
See, now, that's what you're for leaving. Now you're all out there alone.
You know, that's exactly why I'm going to disengage again as soon as I become boring.
It's like
it's about time to get on this old dusty trail.
It's like I use my move to disengage.
5 foot step to get out of this.
No attacks of opportunity. There's a gaggle of them.
Yeah, you try to disengage, but you get the 60 feet. And
No, you are grappled.
There's a little bit of that, and there's
You're
some
socially grappled.
there's some legitimate like excitement because all of them are like at least a good head shorter.
Oh yeah,
than you are.
100%.
So
Yeah, but he looks nothing like that.
no. Well, if none of them ask exactly, how we're related, then
no,
they get to make up whatever lascivious things they wish.
basically there doesn't seem to be as much of a care as for the particulars. You are
Come
now
over here.
Oh yeah.
So
brother-in-law. That is.
I mean, that's
This is your
as far as anyone is legally concerned, that will be accurate.
When it becomes clear that you're not like stepping to the house, like a bunch of them have like their bundles over the shoulder, and he's like, "Oh, but you were leaving, so you should
The business
go. We settle in the house. Hopefully, we talk again."
There's good little cubby under the stairs. I like that one myself.
Ah, good. And then he shouts something in Assyrian to the rest, and there's like nods, and the whole throng moves onto the house.
This is the hill that Ricardo's godfather.
Yeah, this is where he lived, right? Like, that was kind of an abandoned.
This is where
district.
Is it his
Ricardo
godfather?
lived.
Yes.
His
Okay.
godfather
Yeah.
lives on the top of the hill.
Right.
Yep.
Ricardo was at the base.
Because he runs the little cafe, right?
Yeah.
Along with his dear good friend,
Yes.
the bard.
That is half
Don't
deaf.
they like argue all the time?
Well,
They
yeah.
fucking yell at each other from across the inn.
No, they're
Jimmy loves
Walter
it.
Matthau. They're Mexican. They're Spanish Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon.
They're, for
So,
all intents
yeah.
and purposes,
It's-
they're married
Oh,
at this
it's fantastic.
point.
Yeah,
But they were
that's
rude.
fine.
But they were
Even if they're not fucking, they're
It's,
married.
it's an odd couple situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
Felix and Oscar.
Mhm.
Yep.
And
they're-
but it's late enough at night that they wouldn't be open, right?
no.
Okay.
The lights are down, and at this point it's probably like approaching midnight.
I say fuck it, and I head down to the docks.
Yeah.
Go sleep on your ship.
And
There's one thing I can
we're
count
not
on.
sailing. No, you
Right.
wouldn't. But I
Does your brother-in-law still hang out at dockside bars?
Oh,
a
yes.
Mediterranean evening is a very moderate one. So I go find one of the corners where the sailors who might not want to pay the extra couple pesos for a room for the night, and I string up my cot my hammock next to the rest of them.
Yeah.
And I give the Theum evening, and
Oh,
crawl in and
you make a few fast friends, right? Like nothing rowdy, just polite.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
Here's,
I pass around my smaller wineskin as
It's still frozen.
as part of the offering, and I know I've done this many times. I know how this goes.
Yeah. Some of them are clearly more talkative than others. Some of them are like in the end of evening mode.
Oh sure, yeah.
And are pretty much like
this is 100% part of the sailing skill score that I have, and and I trade a tale or two and settle in, because here I can sleep in and I won't be interrupted.
Yes, you're among peers, and once you make the shoulder roll into your hammock and no words are directed your way anymore, you are out for the night.
Huzzah.
There is that understanding.
Thank you. Oh, actually, I'm good.
Oh, 4?
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
You were supposed to say one.
I didn't do it.
No, you gave it to me, and then I fucked it up.
It's the one I used to surf. Oh, you need another one. Yes.
Is it worth it?
I have
Crunchy.
Oh, you can still get it.
It's mostly solid.
You're good.
It's crunchy banana pie.
Paper towel for Megan, please.
Thank you.
I have everything.
Look, it's banana ice. It's still fine.
Banana
Yeah, right.
ice pie.
Yep.
I'm here for it.
So yes,
Do you mean ice box pie?
After-
No, I don't.
I saw them open for Vampire Weekend.
after
What I do with my
3
voice?
sessions and a lot of commotion, the day finally ends.
This is the longest freaking day.
Right? We've been on this for like 3-4 sessions. at this point.
I was gonna say, as they go to bed, I'm sure Ricardo's helping Zhenya with the bandage of 5.
Oh yeah.
And she goes, "You did good today."
Did I?
Yes. Tomorrow you say this. Say with me.
You can get that pronunciation right before you go to
And
bed.
there's immediate like practice.
Omelette du fromage.
Yep. Which that one is also wrong, and everybody knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody knows that term. That's not how you say that.
Nope.
But it's my favorite episode of Dexter's Laboratory.
Yep. It's omelette au fromage. So yeah, Ricardo's not very keen to learn the Syrian. In fact, like looks almost like kind of shamed.
I learned your language while with you. You learned mine.
You had a head
that's
start.
that's
You-
the problem.
you-
Is she's always
you did
accommodated
it.
him.
You're like, you did it,
Yeah.
and I didn't, and that's not good.
You
I
had a
never
head-
speak to you in Usurden.
You had a head start.
But sure.
I'm
But-
in your country. You don't hear my language.
Yeah. Wow.
Until I talk to Veronica, I think I would want you to hear.
We want to change that. Wait, what? It's just like that sudden, like,
I
What?
can't lie.
It's not tight enough.
it sort of looks at you like, what is this grain of duplicity
She winks.
that I do not know?
Oh wait, would Jenny have enough skill and thought process to be silly about that?
Oh, probably. I would assume.
She's so literal about everything.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, okay. We'll let it slide this time. It's Ricardo.
it was done on purpose, right? Like she purposefully spoke to Veronica so that you know she knew he wouldn't understand. So it is sort of a that
No,
was
no.
the intent.
In the sense that she meant it as a joke, she didn't really do it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, would she have would she have the thought process to be able to make a joke like that?
Oh, I'm sure
And I'm like, nah, sure, why not?
because he's, you know,
Yeah.
it's literal, but he's also very much like sweating bullets right now, and there's something kind of funny about that because you know your family, and you know it's serious and not all at the same time because it's not like any of them will take up arms to fight your decision.
I
You
mean,
know?
unless like it was legitimately bad for her.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
Come fight me. See what happens.
Mine
I
was
I, I invite you, please. Let
Yep.
me remind you who I
Fuck
am.
around, find out.
Yeah. Kasha, do not be scared or afraid. It is you who I like, not what they like.
Theus, does it show?
That's what show.
He sort of like poker faces it like a little bit. He's like, what if they smell fear?
We do.
That
There's
was
a-
not reassuring.
There's a twitch at the corner of his eye.
Duh, you dumb fuck. Why would you?
Like, where have you been this whole time?
You know this.
Poor stop.
But yeah, it is.
He's just sitting off the back. Oh, I fucked up.
Yeah.
It is like meeting new animal. Be reverent. Let them know you mean no harm. But if you act as if they might harm you, they pick up on that. We all have teeth, but none of them are sharp.
Most of the time.
Well, I'm different. Wink. But it's both eyes because she can't wink. Just a hard blink.
It's just like
It says wink.
I just squeeze both of your eyes shut for
Yep.
a second. Like you just got brain freeze.
Did you just try to...
Something happened to you?
Okay. I make joke.
I make joke.
Ricardo pulls out a pistol. Like, are you sensing something? Like, what's happening?
In Mother Russia,
funny.
joke make you.
Joke make you.
Everything backwards outside Russia.
Kasha, they are no different from the rest of family. They are no different from being around Rethold, who does not like to wear clothes when fighting, or Jimena, who think I am a witch of the devil.
She's calmed down about
yeah,
that.
of course, yes, of course. But it is the same.
I suppose you get a point. But now you're bringing up like the fact that he's very keenly aware that his side of the family is also traveling, and that also...
This is my big fat Creek wedding because
It
the
really
big,
is.
and then like the reserved, Castilians will show up like, oh, they're hugging me.
The Castilians will be like, bitches.
Ricardo's siblings, like his side is gonna be like significantly smaller, right? It's gonna be like his godfather and his two siblings, and
And Jenny will be over the fucking moon. Oh. So yes, don't worry. Also, tomorrow I tell Marcus not speaking to Surin anymore, or he has to answer to me.
no, like he should continue to do that. It's on me to catch her. I gotta do this.
Looks at him like, oh, sweet lamb.
He's just like, no, I'm not gonna have them think the wrong thing. I'm gonna make this happen the right way.
Not overnight.
No, but I mean, I'll try.
Your language is much easier to learn.
Yeah, probably.
It was easier than Tinian. That make no sense to me. And it helped because Jimena teach me how to read this Bible.
I did do that.
Oh yeah.
Now I have questions about the inconsistencies in said book.
It's best just to not ask.
Well, they used to read me the Bible back home. It's very different from here.
Something about King James versus...
The stories are stranger,
Yeah.
but they are all strange.
Rey Jaime.
Yep.
Versión de Rey Jaime.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we all see them. It's just better not to talk about it.
That's
You
fair.
just internalize it
Yeah,
until it
see,
manifests
Castile-
as a mental
In
illness.
Castile, we don't talk about our feelings.
We didn't even get into the Apocrypha.
Now when we dance, we have
That's right.
feelings.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Where they come out.
You also eat them.
Yep.
Like
100%.
mine's cool.
See Jimena.
Exhibit A.
The most Castilian person in the
Like
world.
just a loaf of bread, like in her mouth.
Just floats in front of the window.
Friggin' bread goblin.
Because Jimena has plot sense.
Yep.
She can be where the plot happens.
She's wherever the juicy bits are happening.
At the end of evening, Kasha, do not worry. I did not pick you because I thought you would mesh well with my family.
I suppose that's the point.
Lisa,
Yes, dear.
do you have any band-aids? You can just tell me where they are. Are they in the bathroom?
Mm-mm. Hall closet.
Hall closet? Okay.
The one that's closest to us.
Okay.
And the right-hand side
Okay.
door. In the tub with all the other...
Bric-a-brac,
Yeah. There you go.
The bric-a-brac.
So yes.
shenanigans.
Yep.
When I picked you, I don't have them in mind. I had you in mind. Yes, it'd be nice they like you. But if they don't, that's their problem.
The nicest would be like, yeah, I don't give a shit what they think.
No. It's helpful.
That does give him a modicum of reassurance. It's like,
Yeah.
I suppose you're right.
But you're not Mary Marushka. You're Mary Zhenya.
No, I'm not.
And when Marushka dies, I will be Marushka.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. That's
And then I will tell everyone who they're not allowed to marry.
And then your children will say, I don't care.
This is how the cycle goes.
yep.
The circle of life.
Perfect.
I was trying to push into Borat so fast as I could within the lyrics. Yes. Get out there.
Now, you will learn how to say good morning,
Yes.
and then we
Or
will go
else.
to sleep.
Yes.
Because I need to sleep to look better, because I've already been... 2 eyebrows have been raised at me already.
Too many.
Yeah, you've been taking a beating.
It's nothing.
I know
I'll not pass out this time.
these two things can be true at the same time. You can be fine and still have taken a beating.
That's true. And that's why I picked you.
Ricardo, I choose you.
I
That's
mean,
right.
that's straight up...
Come out of a Pokeball.
Yeah. Hey, we had a nice time. Live with me forever.
Yep.
Done.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's teaser.
it is a very,
Nice. Yeah.
Is it still the Black Rose one?
it is a very Russian fairy tale.
Yeah.
So
I
we
found
had a
him
good
in the
time.
woods. I took him home.
Yep.
He's mine forever.
That's right. All right.
You're going to be one of those fat, overfed house cats, aren't
You
Hell yeah.
all get a good night's sleep
Yay.
after the longest
Yay.
day in the world.
Probably like wake up like an hour
the
after
best day
dawn
of
and
the
it's
year.
shocking. But
Yep.
yeah.
In a shocking turn of events.
Yeah, Leandro checks to see if you're breathing.
Suddenly the hat is
He's
like,
holding a
Barley
spoon
no,
out
no,
your
not the
nose.
first
Yeah,
person
the hat
egg.
goes, shh,
That's right.
let her sleep.
Alright. Let me... Oh, I have
And
to-
Leandro's like, I knew
I
in my bones. I didn't want it. I didn't want it to be
Okay.
true, but
It was
I
in
knew.
my backpack.
Real nice.
You know,
Yep.
where I looked 3 times.
all the clothes start talking.
It's fine.
It'd be like a Disney animation where all the clothes are characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's about right.
You're a Disney murder princess.
Nice.
I like the
Surrounded
one
by
with
talking
the
clothes.
2 little hats that are for like the horses on the streetcars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that was...
So, yeah, those of you who had taken damage,
Oh, yeah.
get some healing back.
Okay, how much damage do you heal per night, or does it
All of it.
all of it? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, if you get
Unless
a full
it's
rest,
dramatic wounds.
Yeah, dramatic wounds take 1 dramatic wound per night, plus all of your non-dramatic.
Okay.
And because I have Matushka's power, I can heal an extra dramatic wound.
Oh,
Yeah, so if you get to a dramatic, then you only get 1 at a time taken away.
Yep.
But if you're just regular damage, then all of it goes back to normal.
Oh, okay. Easy enough.
Yeah.
Yep. You basically get to the nearest Like I think there's stars on the
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
spiral.
Yeah, so back to the closest.
I think my extra
Which I think
wound
Jimena has only taken
is the-
dramatic wounds like once or twice.
Yeah.
Because all y'all have all your weird bullshit where you take dramatics on purpose, and with Jimena's
Yeah,
stuff here,
sure.
I just set shit on fire and run away.
Well, they also jump, especially these two, just jump into the thick of melee, and most of the time when you get hit is because like
My stuff also gives
she
everyone else
just
bad
goes
shit.
and brawls into bowls into things, and then Rethel goes and
Well,
throws
I think
axes.
I
Then
was gonna say,
chases
literally
them.
the first session that we had, I
The
took
towers.
dramatic wounds because I had the I crush a bunch of dudes under a table.
Yeah.
We have the same thing though. Is it hard to kill?
Yes, because that gives us an extra
Star. Okay,
it
what?
gives us another bar.
I
There's
do not-
there's the thing we have where we get stronger when we're hurt.
I think I'm taking you with me is what increases our limit break potential.
I don't have that one.
I got that one.
Yeah, I'm taking you with me as the one that.
Yeah.
It's
You-
the reason
you
why
deal-
Rethel keeps his.
Yeah.
his-
Yeah, you deal as
Keep
you
his
deal
wound.
as many, you deal extra damage to an enemy for as many dramatic wounds as you have, and so that's why I usually don't heal my first wound, so I have an extra damage on top of it.
I have Together We Are Strong, which is an Ison.
Don't have that one.
There's I won't die
Can I borrow your
here.
pencil, please?
Also,
Thank you. Nope, I don't have that one.
I have Pain Tolerance, Reckless Takedown.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that
don't
one's
have
like-
any of those. I just have dueling and fire.
Yeah, no, I specifically went through every available book and looked for anything that made me last longer.
Yeah, mostly I just have because I have quick reflexes and legendary trade for weaponry and finesse. So that whenever I'm using my sword, I get like extra raises.
Yeah.
But then
Riot
everything
Breaker
else
too.
I
Have
pretty
Riot
much
Breaker.
have is like
I do have a pencil. It has
cast iron
memento.
stomach,
I-
able drinker.
I have Strength of 10.
Yep.
Together We Are Strong, Boxer, Hard to Kill, Riot Breaker, Legendary Trait Brawn, Specialist Brawl, Go On Without Me, which is a real fun one that
Yep.
I really want to use, but I don't think anyone will.
I think there's
Allow
like
it.
because I also have Go On Without Me, so I don't know how many other people are gonna be.
I explicitly didn't take that one because
It's a
our
very
group doesn't do that.
It's a very Zhenya thing to have.
Sure.
Pain Tolerance, Quick Reflexes, Brawl, Reckless Takedown, Triage Knack, and Remember My Name.
I need to take Valiant Spirit.
I think most of my experience is tied up in
Oh, I have it already.
my
Okay, so I do
various
have two
fate
hero points.
things.
I mean, I have 22 advantages.
I don't have that.
yeah, neither do I.
Wait,
And-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And I have 8 sorceries.
That's the only thing that I'm running into with this is that very
Weaponry?
specifically, since I'm Ison, I don't really have any means to get like powers. I'm
Yeah.
just kind of a normal dude, so I
Yeah.
got to figure out something that because he's not taking the he's not
gonna
doing
be
that.
Hex and
Yeah,
Dark,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not happening.
No Hexenvark here.
Buy more advantages.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimena is an alchemist. She can teach you how to do the alchemy.
That's kind of what. So originally, I had thought I had pitched that because I was trying to go for a Witcher kind of thing, but I didn't want to step on your toes to get in the way of
Maybe
alchemy
you can
stuff.
just
so.
like I don't
So,
know.
I don't know.
forge stuff.
Also,
I'm figuring leaning more into the Draconison to see if maybe I can just come up. I can just be the guy with a bunch of weird.
also
I mean, I make the fabric things. You can make the metal things. And
Yeah.
we can
make
just-
your own
I
advantages.
make the plant
That's
things.
true. I gotta figure that
because
out.
I
I mean, I
Well-
built my own sorcery.
It's true.
Yeah. All my
I
sorceries.
just
are-
added on to the
Yeah.
fate stuff.
Well, I'm sorry. I have taken every sorcery that I can get from the book in Matushka's Power, except Forgiveness.
Wow, yeah.
Very specifically, because if Zhenya doesn't forgive someone, then she loses that magic. And so I'm like, she has taken every lesson
Does each of them-
except...
Because each of yours come with a downside, right?
Yeah,
or
so
they
I
have a
have... That's why Zhenya can't lie.
yeah.
Like, so every sorcery she has a
taboo.
cost.
Mm.
And so she has to be the model person. in order to do it. But I have done every... God, what is the word I'm looking for? Temperance, serenity...
Virtue?
Thank you. She has taken every virtue except forgiveness, because I'm like, I can't. I literally...
Yeah. Well,
Jenny could not forgive the angel who stole her... or the demon who stole her sister.
Yeah.
And if she can't forgive the angel or demon, then she loses her magic. So I'm like, you can't have that. So I just started making up my own virtues.
well, I mean, literally, the fire magic, like, they talk about it
Yeah.
in first edition. It isn't in second edition at all, because the whole, like...
They've been
Because
eradicated.
it's basically like, the Inquisition says no,
Yeah.
and we don't talk about it. But even in the first book, they're like, oh yeah, they have that. And there's no explanation of it. You have to go into the specifically Castile Nation book from first
Yep.
edition. And even then, there's just like a very vague like, it's like, you have fire magic, deal with it.
Yeah.
So I basically had to make up
How
my entire thing of how...
That's what I did with a lot of Jenya's magic, because I had to go into the Usuran specific book from first edition and pull a lot of that lore out
Banked up.
to really like. But also, I know all the Russian fairy, like real Russian fairy tales, so I'm
Yeah.
like, we're expanding into this shit.
22.
So, because that's me.
Well, I might just lean
I
on.
made it
I might
up
just
on-
lean on John's love of.
It has a prerequisite of pattern side, which has a prerequisite of...
Oh, sorry. I thought you were, no, I was saying I'll just lean on. I'll lean on John's love of Bloodborne and start coming up with other weird shit that I have that I.
Yep.
You know.
I would say with 20 you got it. Yeah.
But yes, I have an extra background because of my trusted
Fear the old
companion.
blood.
I was saying you were in the bathroom. I was telling these guys the only downside that I have with Marcus right now is that he doesn't have as an Ison. If I'm not doing Hexenwerk, there's not really any way for him to get quote unquote powers.
Yeah.
So I'm probably just gonna have to lean into the Draken Ison's thing of like I have some random.
I told you this when you joined the game.
Make your shit up.
The rules are made up and the points don't matter.
That's fair, yeah.
Really. That's how we've been going. If you draft me something that makes sense and kick it my way, we'll review it. We'll make it happen.
Awesome, works for me.
This is what we make of it. All right. Retold,
Yeah.
what do you do in the morning? You still stick around the docks?
Oh
Do you-
man, I roll
You
out
curl
and
with the
yawn
sun?
and I go for a little walk down the dock and view my ships.
Yeah. Like it's a beautiful sunset.
I imagine a
what we did this morning.
couple other flouts are near ready or
You see a few of them. A couple have been produced, and yeah, it is continuing. They're at this point flying your banner until otherwise.
unless they're otherwise purchased, they're members of the fleet.
Yep.
And then I imagine there's also that contingent of small craft being surreptitiously put out, probably on the other side of the breakers that I'm aware of. That's my aunt's fleet
Yep.
of counter raiders for when the blockade comes.
Yeah, you notice all of this with some interest, and I mean, not to your surprise because you knew it, but there is this morning a couple ships from the Brotherhood of the Coast.
Oh goodness!
That are at dock. Small ships, very understated affair, but they are clearly here, which makes there's mixed feelings on the docks. It's generally positive, but people are a little apprehensive as to what that means. But the few representatives that are on the docks are very keen to get to know the people and
Oh yeah.
are, putting their best foot forward. So yeah.
Of course, brokers of Mendes and Mendes are legally are brokered,
Mm-hmm.
to handle exchanges of goods, and are ready and willing to take their measly 5% exchange of every deal struck as part of legitimate business in San Felipe of Odiseo. Not saying the acquisition of said goods were legitimate, but the redistribution of them, 100% legal.
All of the sale and commerce happening in and around these goods is absolutely above board.
Yeah. I stick out my hand at about waist level, and I yell, "Jose!"
Come to me, child.
Yes.
I
It is
summon
not
thee.
long before
Sort of
Choreo
call her. Let the momentum.
comes out running
His legs are
Yeah,
still
yeah,
moving.
still, yeah.
in a cloud of dust.
Yeah.
Makes us swear to you.
The Roadrunner.
Yeah, 100%.
Good morning to you, boss.
Oh, oh, you ridiculous little sprite. You're not a real human, and you know what? I don't care.
You are like, I hate all other supernatural creatures.
Look, we've
But
made
you're
a
okay.
pact, and this symbiosis we've established is well within my abilities to maintain. So, I'm not saying every.
Water's ready. It's
Not-
back at temperature.
That's right. That's what we can say in verse.
Did you see John?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Tea time.
So every second verse, or every,
Excellent.
not,
Excellent.
not every supernatural creature must be avoided and distrusted. You just need to know which ones you can truck with. And Jose Correo is a magical beast that I embrace wholeheartedly. Literally.
Just a cute little scamp.
That's right.
Yep.
And
He pulls out an apple from the pocket of his pants and
Yeah.
bites into it. And he's like, "What can I do for you, boss?"
it's like, any news of the crows? Are they out? Are they outside of town yet?
They have arrived and have established a camp right outside of town. They are actually looking at building residence now that there's a formal association with the captain of the guard, where it looks like Captain Jose is looking at assigning them a specific wing at the guardhouse so that they can be quartered. But
Fantastic.
until that happens, they do have their camp, I would say maybe 45 minutes outside of town.
Fantastic. Yes. Excellent. Do we know of anything holding up that agreement to allow them a portion of the barracks?
Absolutely not. At this point, it's just boring maintenance, boss. Just sweeping, cleaning, carrying out shit that was in that particular area. But they've got plenty of arms and hands to make it happen, and I do
Indeed.
believe it will be done within a day or two.
Fantastic. Yes, because the sooner they're settled in, the sooner they can continue to work on defenses.
Yes.
And also joining the guard to patrol for agitators.
Yes. On that topic, it's good that you called me because I also have
Literally.
something for you from Palabra.
Oh.
He said he's found something that is of concern while working on the employees that you told him to fire.
Oh.
So He said he didn't want to tell me what because I think he's getting. I don't know. I think the job is getting to him. Like he's becoming very paranoid.
Oh
and
well.
He doesn't want things to be heard. But apparently, it's something that your ears should hear. So
All right.
when you have a minute,
Well, I pull out a chunk of cheese. And I shove that in his mouth after a bite of apple, and then I gingerly set him on the ground, barely off the ground, and then let go as he rockets off.
He is on his way.
That's right.
Before he chews the cheese, and then as his legs touch the ground, he puts the apple in his mouth, and he is.
Got to keep that protein up.
That's right. He is going. You see the trail of dust.
Oh yeah, no, Roadrunner, Speedy Gonzalez, 100%. I chuckle meaningfully at the trade happening between the Brotherhood and my own agents, and none of them are the wiser that I'm the Mendez.
Yep.
And then I trek back up the hill.
Oh no, there's boisterous conversations happening between the guild and Brotherhood of the Coast. You hear a couple of about time from guild representatives who are like, "Hey, you're letting perfectly good business opportunities fall down on account of dubious morality."
Yeah. One of the greatest obstacles of capitalism, morality.
Although they're also deathly enemies of the Ataban Trading Company, who compromises morality in different ways.
Exactly. Long strides uphill towards the headquarters of Mendez y Mendez to meet with my trusted Palabra.
Mm-hmm. Palabra is at a desk.
It was like there's
with,
one between Megan and John, but this is easier for me.
Yes.
No, you have your own.
Oh, yeah. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. As you arrive, Palabra is looking over documents. There's maps of your new acquisitions on the table.
Before he looks up and notice, I'm like, I guess we need bigger maps.
Yes, in more ways than one. And he sort of points to the chair and...
I go, is there someone you trust to handle day-to-day in your stead?
Not yet, but that might not be a bad idea. He sort of looks at some of those, and you see the big map of the building of the steelworks.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
That has... all the different levels, including like the basement that you broke into that they were using more or less as an interrogation room. But he shows you a couple other maps of the warehouses associating with that business where raw material is stocked, and he points to one of them and he says, "We've enacted your orders and put out official paperwork and announcements that certain of our employees were no longer going to be working for the new Mendez y Mendez Steelworks. Some of these employees have since vanished, and I was not sure why. Some of them had been seen around this warehouse specifically. And he sort of points to an area of the map. And he's like, I conducted a survey yesterday afternoon while your party was going on, and I found there is an area of this warehouse that is not factored on the map. If I was a betting man, I think there's tunnels leading somewhere in that warehouse, and some of those people might have used that to smuggle in and out of town."
Oh, Palabra. You're a rapacious wit. Did you take muscle with you when you did these surveys?
I did.
Okay, good.
I brought a spada.
Oh,
because
yes.
I trusted your judgment. Yes. Also, I don't want to die.
Oh, good. Yeah, nope. That is a paramount. That is top 5 priorities of a Jose.
That is the first quality that will make you advance in this company. not being dead.
Yeah, but it's not the top. It's definitely not the top priority. I'm like,
It's
okay.
like, I'm not about posthumously promoting you.
Yeah. But definitely a zeal for the job. That's what we love.
But yeah, he slides like a copy of the map and then he circles like the area. It's like if you go over there, there is a definite spot where the crates were being stocked that has a trap door.
Oh.
It goes pretty far. It was just Palabra and I, so we didn't go too far in because we didn't want that information to
Don't
die
you
with
worry.
us.
Oh, we're gonna get to the bottom and width of this. Indeed. All right. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Correo informed me of what was going on. I will take over this task, and moving forward, I would like a secondary portion of your day is to find a second/successor.
We'll do. We'll
Yeah.
put some hiring
Yeah.
documents out, and I will.
Because we
We'll
want
find someone.
you to be able to take a break as well.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And he sort of rubs
Not-
his face like a little bit, and he's like, "I will get on this right away."
This is all fun for me. I can't imagine it is for you.
Well, it's been a learning experience.
You're doing great.
And he sort of nods and slides the map to you, and
Yeah. I roll it up, tuck it into the belt, and I head back to the Savia Agostina residence, as that's where most of everyone is still found.
I'm not even sure what we're supposed to be doing now. We murdered people.
yes. So
Great.
now you're supposed to prepare for war.
Yeah.
Oh,
You solidify your power because war is coming.
war is beginning.
War is silent.
We done been at war. We've had naval battles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if
No,
the
it's just-
war ever
it's just
ended,
gonna
I feel
be
like we're just
Open
more
engagement at this point.
So I get up to the house.
Looks good. Yep.
Okay.
Do you like that last part? I'm like, ooh, I'm giving you some power here.
Mhm.
Ooh, no.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Stop that.
It only affects me though, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
So, somewhat, I walk up to the door, and I go to open the door, and then I stop, and then I go to knock, and then I stop, and then I just open the door, and I go, hello.
Right before you open the door, like
Yeah.
you hear from the gatehouse. Everything all right, monsieur?
I'm like, there's just a different dynamic as someone as socially acutely aware as yourself. I'm sure that this is yeah.
He's brushing a horse from the gatehouse. He's like, yes, as you were.
Oh yeah. So
I've been hiding out here since
yeah.
yesterday.
Good luck to us all.
Yeah. He's sort of the house butler, and then has when to hang out with the horses for the rest of the time.
It's like I now know why my father locked the bathroom door. He wasn't ashamed of anything. He just the only time he could be alone.
I mean, he's like, my wife and I have a very specific set of skills. She shines in her way over there with all the people. So,
And I shine the horses.
yep, I will continue to be out here doing my thing.
Yes.
So yeah, after stealing myself with a breath, I swing the door open. Hello.
It is a buzz, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yep, there's...
So, like, now that I'm awake, have I been corralled into chopping something or some sort of food thing?
Yeah,
Oh, no,
but
you're
before-
too fine.
Before you can even think about doing any sort of work, you are placed in front of a retinue of people. Literally, like, move from one spot to the other with your husband to meet every single person.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Don't feel strange. We all went to it yesterday.
I'm
Join
Don't
the
be
cult.
weird about it.
Don't be weird about it. It's fine.
I'm very sorry I was not here earlier.
Lots
I
of
had an early day
shakes,
and
hugs,
I need to
kisses.
This is
Yeah.
wonderful to meet
So
you,
many kisses.
Blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. I
None of your
think we just
excuses.
took etiquette stuff. I know what I'm doing.
None of
probably.
your like excuses hit for anything. There is no. The one thing that is a little weird to you is like you're used to people being very familiar because people in Vodache are very familiar.
Yeah, but
There's
they're
a lot
also
of
just fighting
there's
with
a lot of
a
cheap
dagger in
kisses,
their back the whole time.
which means something very different where you're from. So there's
Okay, well then I flinch a couple times and then I have to school it.
the first one like grabs you and you're like, oh, am I getting blessed by?
Is it a blessing or a curse? They're both delivered the
Well,
same way.
if they spit on you, then you know it's a blessing.
But 3 or 4 down the line, you're basically like, yeah.
As long as they don't kiss you on the mouth, at which point then they're gonna stab you in the gut while their lips are on you.
That's right. They'll maintain contact the entire time while you bleed
You
out.
know.
Yeah, proper Vodache people will just, wait till your back is turned first.
Yep.
Jimenez like, go ahead, I'm taking you with me.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the kisses.
Just a double stab,
It's like, oh, I didn't know you wanted to be set
and
on
you just
fire today.
grab the hair, grab the head.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, shh.
And we all fall down together.
So yeah, you and Leandro get introduced to like this gaggle of people that are just out here, and it's talking in the Surin.
I feel like this family is its own entity.
It is.
It must be impressive
yeah.
to sense that.
It is. Feel free to read, but there's a lot of it will look like a tapestry.
You know what? I'm actually not going to do it to you this time.
It will look like a tapestry because
All woven together.
the linking these folks are
Like
Like
I
a-
only read
like
the
a
people
cable
where
knit
I'm like,
sweater.
I need
Yeah.
to
Yes.
know.
just
because
thick and
Yep.
Intricate.
intricate.
Jimena
Yes.
is just like sitting at the table, like she's
Warm
having
and cozy.
conversations, but they're speaking Asuran, she's just speaking back in Castilian. She's like, no, I know exactly what we're talking about. Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yes.
It's like, oh, cheddar.
Nice.
Yeah. You're very popular for that exact reason.
Oh, when Jenny was little, she'd come home.
Yep.
And she's like, oh my god, tell me more.
Tell me all.
She was a strange child, which is why we knew she would be like that. It's a good sign when they're strange.
Veronica's around.
Like, she's a strange adult wall.
Emil very dutifully is dropping lines in Asuran, like here and there, carefully. Veronica's coaching. There's definitely a bullet list because those of you who speak Asuran, like you can tell, there's even an order. It's like, all right, he's going down the list.
He's got a litany.
Basically, right? He's when he gets to the bottom, it's back to first, right? Like so, after a little while, if you listen to him enough, you know which line is coming next, right?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Yep. It's very much
We
like
had
that.
the- we just do
It's very
cost,
like
cost.
proper
With sort
square
of a story, but,
Asuran.
like, if it makes sense for you,
It's not wrong.
Just take them. But if
But
you're,
it's-
getting something else, it's nice.
There's
to
no
know,
fancy or
like,
flower
oh, I'm getting it
there.
for this or that.
Where Zhenya just basically has a hold of Ricardo the entire time.
Yep.
Just hands interlaced.
Yep.
Nope. You're in this now.
Oh no, Ricardo's following orders. He's like, I am your scout. I'm not venturing until you give me the order to venture forth. He doesn't take risks. That's exactly the mode he's in. It's like a battlefield at this point. As this whole yep.
Oh, I was just gonna ask about the banners and whether that's been a thing going on. Have they been being produced, or should
Yes.
I oversee that and stuff?
Yes, the banners will be ready to
Okay.
pick up.
Cool.
So,
So you arrive to this scene.
oh no, I have a battle plan as well for this minefield. So yeah, no, I did the door open and the halloo
Yep.
as a yes, I am constantly invited to this space. This is a second home, and the first Usuran I encounter, I give a hug and one peck, and say good morning, and just sort of move on down the line as if I've been introduced to all of them already.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're like,
There is.
yeah,
And Zhenya, you would pick up on that immediately. In Asuran, the first pet that he got, you hear in Asuran, his brother-in-law. Hey, and there's like a hey, like across the room.
I am the machine.
Zhenya has a fundamental problem with this. Not that, just specifically because she knows that's not Rethel's real name. And it upsets her that Rethel doesn't use his proper name when he goes places, and that he takes away other people's names.
Oh,
I did
yeah,
not
that's
take
the whole
anyone
thing.
else's name. This was the name I chose.
No,
and
no,
it happened to be.
It's the Jose's. Like, you take away their
Oh,
names and
that's a- I'm
give
just sitting
them...
here
That's a
going,
Technically
larger.
speaking, that was
Change
canon.
That's
slightly.
it's part of a larger.
But she's always been like, that's not his name. You call him that, but that's not his name.
The
Well,
vibe
it's
changed
his
for
name
Zhenya
afterwards.
because the rest of the room is like, hey, his
Yeah.
brother-in-law. Like,
Shinya's sort of like, of course Rethel is my family, but this is not correct.
And so, and I sort you know, and I do the thing where I have to like basically do the vine swing from relative to relative to get to the table.
Until you get
yep.
to the great aunt.
No, I dodge her. I avoid. No, that is the
I don't dodge it. Whatever.
like
I fix
if you
words,
want, I can
maybe.
do like a wits plus warfare
Rethel,
to try and get the optimal position where I of course respect the matriarch.
you've been
100%.
to enough of these kinds of engagements that you know
Would you like to be warm?
how to handle it. Yeah, Rethel is playing DPS and he's like, the tank has not grabbed the boss yet. I'm not.
Yeah, no.
We gotta wait.
And you know, to be frank, if Rethel is nailed down and made to be social, it's gonna not go great. But I'm relying on my perform and warfare skills at this point
Nice.
to navigate a surface layer
At
of
least
it.
his family's a social raid boss.
It is.
Yeah, you don't- you know?
Empathy.
In real life and in
Because my objective is to get to our nucleus
Yep.
and be like,
You all have different ways to navigate that battlefield, right? Marlena just understands the vibe of the room. Of course, Zhenya is in her element. Jimena just navigates the drama and gossip. So, and you're like, you've been to enough like guild meetings and
oh
to
yeah,
know
the
like,
hall is all family, and
I have to appear here at this
Yeah.
moment, and I have to. Here's the lip service I pay to these,
and sort of that holdover of, look, if you just walk in and know like and act like you belong there, you
Yep.
can get away with it. It's it's the same thing. You're like, oh yeah, no, I'm family. It's cool. And you just roll through.
So yeah, then yeah, your family is thrilled
Oh, yeah.
at the arrival of brother-in-law.
And
When he approaches the table.
yeah, like maybe one clever one thing. Wait, didn't we? I was like, oh no, I met Constantine last night. I met
Yep.
I was up at the house. Oh yeah, you'll see the house. The house is
Anika
great.
is here.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah.
And so I was like,
Anika
yeah.
does give you a high five.
We go way back. And then I'm like, but we have work to do. I look over and I'm like,
Yes.
Palabra told me that we might have a line on some. Where am I from? That's right. It's in there. That's where
There's
it
some in
is.
the Swedish
Okay.
chef.
Yep. So Palabra told me that he might have a line on where those rats are scurrying to and fro from.
Zhenya stands.
Indeed. So we need to go ferret them out, perhaps literally if some of us are so inclined.
I did not have a ferret.
A stoat, an ermine of some sort.
I have a field mouse. And then
Follows an exhaustive listing.
I still say
animals.
elephant.
Proceeds to list every mustelid in
sir. No, she doesn't have too many small animals, actually. The only real small one she has is the field mouse, which she doesn't like to do
No.
in front of Ricardo.
Yeah, not anymore. Everyone looks off.
Oh,
thousand.
yeah.
Everyone pulls the Ison stare at
Yeah.
the
The
mention
The
of
only
the
other
field
time I
mouse.
remember is when you went with me to meet.
your-
That
yeah,
one-
and
that
when-
one is
And that's
tinged
when
with
she
PTSD.
realized that doing it around him is a bad idea.
Yeah.
And so
For reference,
And
That's how I met him.
When they met Ricardo was in jail
That's a whole thing.
as a member of the Carrion Crow, and he was with 2 junior members that were in other cells that were about to reveal secrets.
Had to
So they
mercy
basically
kill.
had to kill them. So they would not reveal, and that happened through Zhenya delivering poison to both of them.
Oh, boy.
As a mouse.
As a field mouse.
Nice. Okay.
So it's like, well, these guys are rookies. They're going to break under interrogation.
And we had no way.
We
to
can't
get them
afford to have...
And it was also to end suffering because they were so tortured
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
beaten.
So
It was mercy.
so that's a PTSD field mouse now.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So
You just turned into a really buff squirrel.
Oh, your balls will be huge.
Don't tell
I'm
me. I
like,
will
does she
repost
have
the
a
picture.
squirrel?
I was actually thinking like maybe a fox or something.
Well, she does have the
because-
fox.
Okay,
yeah, she has the Arctic fox. Yeah.
So yeah, I sort of beleagueredly let the table know that we're all gonna have to go. Ricardo and Zhenya and Mena, Emil and Oscar, because we're gonna be taken. But this is an ample opportunity for the family to get to know the town better, to go out and adventure. Because if as they all know, there's gonna be a little Usura now up on the hill, and that maybe they should go to his godfather's cafe and meet someone important.
Meet the old guys yelling at each
Because
other.
I was up there last night. And it
Ricardo
was beautiful,
Blanchard. It's like, I'm not going to be there.
Because it's
Give
going
me
to
a
happen
buffer.
sooner or later.
Yes.
So, okay, maybe I don't. Maybe I
But
don't
yeah,
throw
Vesio-
Ricardo under that bus quite yet. But definitely, I'm like, there's a lot of town to check out.
Zhenya wants to be there to watch it all go down. She
Right.
loves these men.
Okay, well there we go. Yeah.
Vasile, the oldest man
Oh,
in
the
the
uncle.
group,
Yeah.
he's just like, you don't worry about us.
No, of course not. No,
We no trouble.
never.
Yeah,
Of course
we,
not,
We,
no.
we take care. Like you see the cousins like giving each other like knowing nods.
Yeah.
All the fauna or the flora in the house that Zhenya always keeps really nice is just out of control suddenly.
Yeah. Yep.
Overgrown.
And he's like overgrown.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like you do business. We no get in the way.
Zhenya delivers kisses around
Yeah.
the table.
I start picking off the youngest members of the group because I know I can gather them into my aura and get them out the door. Whereas the older ones and or the more direct relative will take longer to disengage.
Yep.
So I'm starting the train. Because
Are you getting them to leave the house so we can talk about things?
You're stuck in.
no. I'm getting them to leave the house so we can straight up leave the house.
Oh,
like I don't
right,
yeah.
like large enough. I know how this goes. I'm
They'll
like,
go. They'll go
'cause
to.
there are some
they'll
people
go to
who will just
Jenny and
keep
Ricardo's
talking.
house and
Yeah.
hang out and
Yeah.
they'll do their thing. Well, yeah, it does take a little bit,
yeah.
but the human chain eventually leaves the door. A couple of the cousins tried to help Maruska walk, and she elbows them. She walks slow, but like she won't walk any faster. Like you're gonna have to wait, right? So she
Deal with it.
does her thing, and before long, the whole throng of people. You see this group just chatting in a Surin, going down the street.
Yeah, from the other side of the street because we're already, or from down the street because I'm already trying to direct us off towards the warehouse district. And once I know once we see them heading off, I'm like, okay, so more specifically, one of these warehouses likely has tunnels going to and fro, allowing access into the city. So I figured I needed someone who knows about the Earth
Of course.
to help suss them all out, maybe draw us a little map. And
I
then,
mean, I could just collapse the tunnels.
well, we might want them
Oh.
for our own uses.
Okay.
So, if we can map them, we can have some subterranean crows, as well as
Ground crows.
indeed, as well as Jose's boys. So, but of course, we want to make sure they're nice and clean first before we send any of our friends down there.
Of course.
Alrighty. So if everyone's down for some spelunking, we head on over to that particular warehouse.
Leandro looks at you and he's like, "What? You want me to go back to the shop? Do you want me to follow along?"
Well, you can do whatever you want to do, but I might be by later to help with training some of the others. But yeah, I'll visit you later.
I'll go and see how everything is proceeding.
Yeah, like actually, I'm probably gonna have to start training them to actually fight as well.
Yep.
So, well, one, I think that was it Bernadetta, the older one that's like really like angry and stuff. Probably already knows how to, but
Yeah.
you know, it helps.
Some of the younger ones have purposefully not been taught. So. All right.
That'll be something I'll do a little later. But yeah,
Yep. So.
put on my hat and other clothes. I mean, not just
No, just that.
Just
Just
that.
that.
That's right.
I approve.
That's how it works.
It intimidates and confuses your opponent.
Jenna's
Right.
like, no, well, if you want, you're gonna get the road rash.
That's very cool. You're not my husband.
No.
But yeah. Leandro goes off. Are you bringing the twins as well?
Well,
You're bringing on this mission.
I extracted everyone who looked like they wanted to be extracted from the familial attention. So if,
I was like, yeah, how's Oscar enjoying the show of a meal or a meal
he's
show?
Loving every minute of it. Not to the point of like purposefully throwing him under the bus, but just helping him lose his footing a little.
Look at you go.
Yep.
I'm waiting for when Veronica starts handling Oscar.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of like, that one's mine now.
Yep. That'll be a good time. Well, yeah, all right. They bring the whole panoply with them, and on you go to the warehouse district. You notice that the warehouse has been cleaned, that the old sign has been brought down, and there's a temporary sign, while the permanent one gets made. There's a painted sign that is now displayed at the top that says Mendez y Mendez Iron Works. So this is not the actual foundry, but you know where a lot of the equipment is getting stored and some of the raw materials. As you come in, one of the person at the gates immediately recognizes you and goes out of his way to sort of pull out a heavy set of keys from his belt and unlocks the big chain that is wrapped around the warehouse doors. He sort of looks like he might have been a soldier previously because he debates whether he should salute or not for a second. But he just opens the door, thinks better of it, and just says, "Oh yeah, good morning. I'm glad Mr. Palabra managed to get in touch with you. We kept the warehouse exactly as it was yesterday. No one came in or out, at least not on this end."
Oh, good. And who are you?
My name is Julian. I've been hired by Mr. Palabra to do security around here.
Oh. Oh, well then.
Jenya eyes him up and down.
Okay.
He
No
sort of
pressure.
stands a little bit straighter.
Ooh, can
And
I
he-
beat him?
As they
Retreat.
almost like as venturing of a resume, right? Like he's like, my brother works for Captain Jose. We served together in the Castilian military. He joined the guards. I did not, but I figured it was time.
Half eyebrow. Was like, okay. Oh.
Yep, it was time to get back into action, and I think this is more my speed, my kind of work. So I was glad to take this opportunity.
What's he rocking? What's he armed with? What's he got on his hip?
You see that he's got an arming sword with him, couple pistols, and then he's got like what looks like a Castilian style parrying dagger, like tucked into the back with kind of the U shape right there. So yeah, he's got a decent enough armament, right? All well maintained to your eye, at least. So the soldier angle seems pretty plausible.
And I sort of glance around. I'm like, just you?
Well, there's a few boys that Captain Jose has assigned to patrol while Mr. Palabra is beefing up our hiring for these buildings.
Okay.
We had to let go of quite a few people, and turns out a lot of them were working in and around this particular warehouse. Based on yesterday's discovery, I think that makes some sense. The security folks probably knew about this tunnel and were making sure people had access to it uninterrupted. So that means there's a little bit of a hole in our security forces right now, but
I laugh.
we are.
And I go, oh, no joke intended. Got it.
Yeah, he sort of like is not exactly sure whether he should join on the laughing or not, but he says yes. The guard captain very graciously offered to help cover this area, at least for activity, while Mr. Palabra works the hiring. We did give him a few recommendations based on people who have served in the military that would be good additions. Of course, they all be vetted.
I'm guessing you had an interview with Mr. Palabra as well, or Mr. Espada as well?
I did.
Oh, good.
He sort of clears his throat right after that. Like, it was a field interview, sir.
Well, good. We pride our company on our soft skills as well as our practical skills. So.
Yeah, as he adjusts his collars, like you'll notice that he has like a nasty
big whack,
bruise,
yeah.
like,
yeah.
the side of his neck.
Yeah,
Right.
I chuckle and throw a glance over at Marcus. I'm like, yeah, them icing blades, they'll get you right there.
He's not wrong. Where did that go?
Yeah, oh no, yeah.
Right.
Well, welcome to the game. Yeah. And I'm like, well then, let's get in a hole.
Yeah, right this way. All right, you were getting a read.
Yes.
So you have for a virtue the witch, intuitive.
Oh, I think that one's mine too.
Cute. His hubris is the lovers, star-crossed.
No, poor Julian. That's fun. Gives him background. You can tell Jimena later, and
Right.
she'll fucking love it.
I don't even know if I need to tell. It's probably really
Mena can
Smell it, yeah.
Like she can sense it.
Jimena's novella round kick in.
It's
Like the moment there is a
me,
mention,
I'm like, he made an unintentional joke. Meanwhile, she's standing there hearing the strings of the
Right.
soundtrack.
the moment he pronounces the words, it was not meant to be. Like Jimena will teleport from wherever she was to this particular spot, and it's like, tell me everything.
That's right. But slowly and sadly.
Don't go too fast.
So trek us over to the hole.
Yes. So you get brought to the
It's not
corner of the
Dugan's
warehouse, and at a spot where there's a big.
No, it's Verdugan's hole.
Vertigan's hole.
Right. There's-
Technically, it's Dugan's hole. Put the accent on
Here
the
it would
A.
be, yeah.
you hear a gaggle of ridiculous people down there. One of them's a robot. One of them's a lizard.
Oh,
one of them's
He's a robot. Why is he filled with meat? Don't worry about it.
He's a robot who smells of meat.
Don't let him in.
And a
Jimena
disembodied
will clear the fucking.
Just opens his chest plate and Jimenez inside.
He's like curled in a ball.
Get her out of there. She's gonna
He's
use the
full
whole
of,
supply.
he's full of fire. I'm sure she'd be fine.
Yeah,
It's true.
It's like he's full of fire and meat. I'm sure Dorn is her favorite person.
secrets, meat
Yep. Zuri goes back home and says, "My lord there."
Does anyone else hear the disembodied voice going, "There's no horses! It's a spooky game!"
Oh no.
Everything is connected.
My eyes water just enough
Oh,
that the oil from my face is now making my eyes burn.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so you get brought to a corner of the warehouse close to one of the big wooden support beams where there's definitely crates that were dragged on the ground. And yeah, lo and behold, along the ground, Rethel, you've seen the map. There's not supposed to be anything there, but there's clear as day a trap right into the ground. It's a fairly big trap, like big enough that probably two large-sized folks could walk shoulder to shoulder down below. The trap has been open, and you see the stairs leading down into the abyss.
That's fantastic.
You what the fucks were this?
No, if you could just, I think, right, you can just, sort of put your hands down and sort of just get the lay of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Can you do
let's,
that like Toph Earth sense?
Exactly.
thing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, yeah, if you can fill in this map, that
But with their hands, yeah.
You
That'll
need,
make
you
it-
need to take a badger mole shape.
secret tunnel.
No!
So if you could fill in this map, and then we know where we're going from
Let
there.
me spend the hero point.
Yep.
Alright, Zhenya uses her terraform?
Yeah. But you're basically gonna cast your
Yeah,
senses. You're not modifying the tunnels. You're
Yeah.
basically getting a sense of it.
Just talk to me, Tunnel.
In a sense, to get you to have that sense, beneath your hands, two strong but thin roots sprout forward and start casting out as you're getting a sense of the tunnel. It goes down quite a ways before starting to make a circular bend in one direction, and it circles the other way, sloping forward. And
Zhenya narrates all this as it's going on,
yep,
so someone can be drawing while she's like, no, left.
I hand some charcoal and the map to Marilena. As I imagine
Yep.
Marilena has the nicest penmanship
I
slash.
have a really high craft
it's
score.
it's
so
very
yeah.
it's
Right.
very practiced because she didn't know how to read or write until fairly recently.
It's true.
So
Or maybe Jimena?
No, do not
Okay,
trust this
that's
to him.
okay.
And then
No,
it's like, wait,
I'm-
which way did you go? No,
it's
which
like-
way is that?
No, but it is very
Yeah,
meticulous.
if I'm not gouging it out of bone,
I've
I
got
don't know
like
what the
I've
fuck
got
I'm
at least
doing.
4 scholarship.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have a steady and a very
you can
steady
do
hand,
this.
so that's good.
I was gonna say there's also Ricardo who understands her,
Yes.
her military speech of like,
That's true.
yeah,
that might
you know.
also be better.
Well, Ricardo will serve as an interpreter.
Yeah.
So that he
Okay, team
basically
effort.
gives you like the exact about this many paces. Zhenya, you know that the tunnel opens up to a bit of a larger room. At that point, you feel the presence of processed metal in that room, probably a grate of some sort. There's also running water. And you're like, oh yeah, some of the waterworks.
Oh, seems like
This
sewers.
probably communicates over there. But this is like heading towards like the dock area, so you know those waterworks will probably, if you follow this, come out somewhere near the cliffs on the side of the bay. You feel the presence of wood in that area as well. You can't really see it, but You feel wood sort of like hitting against the stone periodically, and your brain fills in there's probably a boat or some kind of thing just moored right there close to where the grate is. That's sort of bumping. There's also a tunnel heading into the other direction, and that one opens up to another larger room that seems to have furniture in it.
Just kind of. Does it feel like there's people in it?
You don't feel people in this exact spot, no. But
But if I were people, this is where I would come back to.
you're familiar enough with nature to know there were people there fairly recently, not more than a day or two.
And so from the map, the entrance exit is via the boat.
Yeah.
Not via
Yeah, that
another
other room
end
is
tunnel that comes
enclosed.
out. Okay.
It seems like it was built. Genya would feel the way that leads from the warehouse to this spot feels much more recent. Like it was constructed more recently than this other area. Like almost like that tunnel was built to connect to a structure that already was existing.
Okay.
You definitely feel, Genya, like in the make of the stones and, you know, like the way they're settled, that tunnel leading to that area with the grate, like that feels much older, actually. If you cast your senses further past the grate, you feel that it connects to other pieces in the waterway. You can expect, if you continue to cast in that way, you're eventually going to, again, reach the cliffs and the bay. Eventually it becomes harder because the tunnel goes a little bit of a way, so your senses start to become a little bit less clear because you're casting them much further away. But it feels like life has been in that spot much more recently, like
it's
hours,
warm.
if not minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Still warm.
You get the sense of another one of these sort of larger rooms with a grate somewhere further down the line, and there you almost feel like there's presence. Your senses are pretty stretched at this point, but you hear like a rhythmic that feels like boots or, you know, somebody walking.
And then she pops her head up like she can hear it, and then stands up and starts walking. Because this is Genya.
You, in a sense, had to plop like a second map over there because the thing she describes is going like further, right? Like to keep the scale.
Yeah.
But yeah, you Ricardo looks at this and he's like, yeah, absolutely. Like this is probably connecting to the old city overflow waterworks, like right over there. So when we get rain, it gets washed back into the bay. Yeah, there's multiple of these tunnels. They're mostly popping out like on the cliff sides over there, but if they go all the way down, that means they have access to the sea from the other side of the docks from this area, so it would be easier to smuggle people into town potentially. But if we plug this hole,
yeah, and then as soon as Genya pops up and starts walking, I follow along. Axe is out.
Yep.
all right.
I'll be somewhere in the middle.
And quietly, even though it's not necessary at this moment, she goes, I feel boots.
One pair.
One pair?
There's multiple. Like again, it's
Yeah, it's far.
yeah, it's
But
far,
it's-
so it's hard to tell, right? Like the sounds, you don't get like as clear a sense. So some of them might be the same person, but
There's an echo.
there's definitely more than one
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't know what there's an echo means when it comes to sensing through Earth, but I
Yep.
So, sounds good.
I'm realizing that our different ways of sensing things could actually connect somehow. That would be weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
If you focus on the same. Yeah.
I don't feel the need to right now.
The earth pulses. You feel it breathe.
Yeah.
And the boots, there are more than one, but some are the same. Is an echo.
Okay.
Makes sense to
We
me.
will trust your statement.
As strange as this is.
I'm going with it.
You make it like maybe like 20 feet down the stairs, and it's dark as fuck down there. There's no light.
Jimena?
We brought a candle.
Yep. Little flame.
Hola, my name is Jimena. I am the candle.
Did I get rid of that?
Yeah, you might be able to fuck off see in the dark.
No. Zhenya illuminate. Like, she can just be glowing.
Right.
I still have that. But you can candle. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, you
Volcano
probably,
loves dose.
Fucking, yeah.
Yeah.
you probably need a couple because the moment
We have a
you
train.
leave the trap, like it goes down a ways,
I
and
was
it's complete darkness.
Multiple light sources.
You see some spots where people can put up torches like along the walls. Like there's some sconces in the walls, but nothing is lit up. So it's dank, it's cold, and it's dark.
Is dank.
It's dank
Okay. That's dank. Okay,
Hell
so
Like
Yeah.
that.
I'm spending the other hero
to keep
point.
the trend. Snoop Dogg shows up
And then
because it's dank down here,
Hell yeah.
Zhenya's
and he
whole
morphs
body
into a dog.
illuminates as if she's made of, like, phosphorescence. She is Jesus.
Somebody leans over, just cracks Jimena in half, and then puts her back up.
Shakes
Shakes
her
her,
a little bit.
shakes her up a little bit. Or sorry,
Zhenya.
Zhenya, not Jimena.
It's hard.
It's going to keep happening.
And Marilena. Yeah, that's very...
Yeah, there's.
Okay, at least we have different letters in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not
Me
like
and
that.
her will do great in our excellent Scrabble clues.
Oh, yes.
Get all the
Oh,
points.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That Y and the Z for me.
That X, yeah.
Just need someone with a Q in their name.
You've
Jimena-
got a bunch of letters, though, so that's handy for board cover.
Yep.
Yeah, Jimena also spends a hero point to send
The sprites.
Yeah,
little
sprites.
firelings running out in front of us.
Yeah, Jimena's little flame suddenly sprouts tiny little flameling that
So
seem to grow spindly little legs.
Ooh.
And
That's new.
they sort of drop.
She's done it before.
Yeah.
I know, but I thought I imagined it.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, it was
Now,
real.
now confirmed. Okay.
To be fair, the last time you did it, you were on rooftops and Brethel
That's
was down
true.
below.
I was Naruto running down a rooftop.
Yep.
I was
You were
Marlena
piggyback
Steed.
race.
Yeah.
That seems to
Marlena.
be a thing. I feel like at least 2 people now have done it. Is Marcus next? Am I going to be riding Marcus next?
Yeah, you can probably ride on.
Sure, if you want to.
You can probably ride on Marcus's shoulders.
Several people could ride on Marcus's
Yeah,
shoulders.
you're pretty big.
Yeah.
And I'm
Oh, come
not
on.
that
It was
big.
Monstro. There were 8 of us on his lap.
Nice.
Yes.
So yeah, you finally make it down, and then, as Jania described, there's a bend, and then it sort of moves around.
Did there seem to be a cue as to why it S-curved in its path from topographic or cityscape?
Yeah, funnily enough, like Jenia would pick up on this. There's like massive, gnarly roots
Ah.
in that area
Okay, cool.
that sort of force the tunnel to make like a little bit of a U.
Ah.
You actually see some of the roots, like even in the masonry as you walk by.
Neat.
There's some giant, ancient roots, and then Rethold, from having looked at the city maps, you realize you're probably close to one of the central courts where you've held. You've done events previously, and you remember one of the gigantic trees standing about in that area. So you're like,
Sure.
yeah, that probably makes sense.
Cool.
We make a really, really big ent.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Lisa will say about that one,
Yeah, it's like a giant oak.
or what Genia will say when she gets to those.
Yes.
But
After about a 25, 30 more feet going in the other direction, you do open up into the other area. That area is illuminated because there's some torches lit up. In there, you hear the water. It's like kind of like an underground river. The tunnel is a little bit more rough-hand hewn in that spot, except for the gate area that has a couple of sets of stone stairs. There's a little platform where the gate is at on the side, and then there's this little boat. You see that there's a couple pontoons there, so you can probably accommodate 2 or 3 different boats. And you see a few long kind of quarterstaff-like things aligned on the wall that can be used.
sure,
So like
Pole.
to punt them instead of
Yep. So yeah. So to give you a
Is you okay?
Yeah, maybe just scratch.
These assholes, well, they tried to dig through some trees, but the tree said no. So that's why
yeah.
that's why the route goes serpentine.
Yeah, just to get
So
you
I don't
up
know
to
if
speed on that.
I'm gonna-
Traveling through that little path, you know how it is?
Genia.
Yeah.
It curved left and then like curved back to get to that sort of gate area. And Rethold was trying to figure out why, from your senses. You know that's because they're gigantic tree roots going around that bend. There's like a gigantic oak tree.
Which will come in very handy later.
Yep. Digging into this area, so they sort of curled around that obstruction. But yeah, so you're now close to the little gate. There's a mechanism that opens or closes that gate on either side. One little boat moored here.
So we're at like kind of a T intersection
Yeah, so
because the other side is that like
yeah, so you
Hold
came
out.
out of this side, right? On this side is the gate. So you have the gate here, the little boat here. There's a couple of sets of stairs going in this direction. And then there's 2 on either side of the waterway.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 stone walkways that lead into this direction. You see a couple open doors that seem to lead into that other room that Genia
okay.
perceived. Right.
Well, there wasn't anyone in there, so we can leave that for now. We're headed towards the boots.
Yeah, if you head
So
towards the
that's
boots, the way is
upstream?
either to take the
Okay.
boat, or if you want to, you can walk into the current. It's probably going to be, depending on how tall you are, you're going to have it like mid thigh to up to your waist. In water, and there's a current, so you
Wait,
can
walk in it
potentially.
now?
Oh, there's nowhere to walk beside it up the tunnel.
There's a couple walkways, but you notice that it's not continuous. So if you use your light to continue, you'll see that there's spots where it just like drops and then it picks back up later. Because a lot of the waterways itself, like there's some support columns, but a lot of it is like kind of like rough hewn into the stone. From Ricardo's explanation, you can see there's some drains leading like straight up above that help funnel heavy rains probably down here and into the bay below, right? Like, so it's not super meant to be used as a people tunnel. The walkways are there mostly to clear obstructions or make sure.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, come on, Abe. Let's get in this
could-
river and punch it to death.
I
That's
can
right.
make it easier for us to walk through, but that makes it easier for other people to walk through.
I mean,
Or
if
we get in
nothing
the
else, I
boat.
start taking my dress off because I'm not going to get that wet.
You can take this boat. We're all fit in the boat.
Frowns.
I'm not
Whichever
taking
you-
all of it off. I've got an under thing. It's,
Bloomers.
it's like floor length. Okay, I'm
Rumors haven't been
adopted.
invented yet.
It still covers me.
She has stockings.
Yeah.
To be fair, if we're in medieval to Renaissance-esque Europe, then we just sort of like, other than stays, we wouldn't really wear any underpants.
Shift.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like a giant.
It's
Like,
just your chemise.
There are drawers, but it's all open.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway,
I wouldn't do it
It's
if I was
Enough about
open,
historical
but-
underpants.
That's right.
I know a lot about historical underpants, strangely enough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thank you for joining this historical underpants cast. And
Yeah. You know it's all about
Oh,
butts.
I know they're out there.
oh, they are out there.
So yeah, is
sure.
Jenny going to make us a? Is she going to single-handedly improve the public works, or we can get more votes?
Well, like I said, if I make it easier for us to come through, it makes it easier for other people to come through.
You just fix it the other way.
And Zhenya is, as always,
Oh really?
apprehensive about getting on water.
Okay.
Because-
Also that, yes.
The Chernobog
Yeah.
Well,
is probably...
with your ability,
Yeah.
you can use the existing walkways and just fill the gaps.
Okay.
You could basically feasibly pop the rocks on either side. So basically, you would
Makes
have
like a
like
little
stone
footbridge,
walkways,
yeah.
and then you would have rough rocks pathways,
Call
and
the
then
stones, Ludo.
yep.
Oh, smell bad.
I was going to do smell bad, but my throat hurts.
It's okay, I got you.
And your voice
Smell bad.
markedly stronger than
Yeah.
it was when we came in because
Yeah.
you sounded like this.
Yeah, I know. The tea helps.
It's wonderful.
Sounded like Huckleberry.
Everyone looks at me and I'm like, I know how to fix this. I have to do it.
Yeah.
I know it's the worst. It's terrible.
She strongly objects to improving the city works.
Everything.
I like how she meows and then looks inside the room
Yeah.
as she does it. Like,
Are
hey.
you paying attention though?
Mhm.
Hey.
So yeah, since you've already activated that power, that's technically good for Steen, right? So I will let you use your sense and pop those rocks
Yeah.
into.
Marcus is just seeing this happen.
Yep.
Very useful.
Yep.
Thank you.
So yeah, you can basically just.
It was very strange to be in your land. Where the
Oh.
land hates you.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yes,
that-
if I was able to talk to the land, I would not talk to Ison.
Yeah.
It was
She
worse.
did it, and it was.
It was worse.
She couldn't
in-
help herself. We told her not to. We told her it'd be bad, but she,
It was worse in Montaigne. Because I could feel the pain.
Yes, no, or yes, in Ison, the pain is deadened.
No, there's no pain in Ison. It's just angry.
It's right.
Yeah. It's very upset with you. In Montaigne, it is dying. And in pain.
I forgot what Montaigne's whole thing.
France,
is.
they do the blood magic
The
and
magic
literally
literally rips
Yeah,
holes.
rips holes
into-
in reality.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They have portal magic and it tears holes in one place to get them to another place.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Probably.
Other than Montaigne being like, everyone hates Montaigne, fuck them, because the wars, Usuran people are extremely like, fuck them because of how they treat like their Earth.
Yeah.
We're wary of you because your Earth doesn't like you, and we're like,
Oh, I know.
oh, I know why.
Yeah.
But them, no.
Oh no. To be fair,
My people are just sexist.
Marcus is very on
Yeah.
the side of people who hate Ison for the land being bad because he knows what the cause was too.
Yeah. Oceania knows
Why
the
he's not a
cause.
big fan of the fucking data sheet.
So,
The only
she,
people that Jimena has a problem with are the church.
Yep.
And even then, specifically the Inquisition, not the church as a whole, because she's still a devout batch.
Yep.
yeah.
All right. So there's two pathways now on either side of this river. Do you go single file, two at a time? Do you split into two groups?
How wide is the gap there?
wide
canal
enough.
itself is probably, I would say, if you take like the pathway and the canal, it's probably as wide as, you know, from the wall to the counter, like the
okay.
second counter.
So it's
whatever.
actually pretty wide.
We'll split
It is
halves.
wide
Yeah.
enough to have a
One on each side.
boat go unimpeded, right? And there's a pretty good flow on there. There's a subterranean river apparently flowing through here, so yeah, cool.
Then we push up through the tunnels. Quick tunnel. Both, you know, one team on each side.
All right,
We'll split up the bruisers and the casters to have an even. It's
There
mostly
you go.
bruisers,
strategic,
mostly melee, but yeah,
strategic. Most of you are
a
hybrids.
fair complement of.
Yeah, I'm
There's
more
like-
on
there's
the
like
magic
wizards,
side
but
because
there's
I don't
not-
have any brawn.
That
I'm kind of squishy.
I mean,
I'm a sorcerer.
Marlena.
You
Marlena's like
guys are
a
you guys are Dex.
yep. Marlena's like a rogue wizard, and Jimena's like a sorcerer, like dex fighter.
Bar sorcerer.
Well, I'm definitely part druid, but what's the other half?
So you're just a
More
druid.
druid.
Because
Yeah,
it
you're a
used
druid
to it used to be barbarian,
Yeah,
but like
yeah,
Yeah,
Just more druid.
yeah, a Drudarian.
yeah,
the biggest druid.
You're just a power druid.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I
You-
figure she's like a paladin druid.
Your
You have-
multi-class druid.
You have the brawling.
It's like two different.
You have the brawling fighting style.
Yeah.
You just took that as a feat.
With strength maxed instead of wisdom.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
It's like
So,
I don't
yeah.
need to be wise to wild shape.
You pass a few of those same sort of like way stations on the way there with like a couple of grates. And as you are about to arrive to the third one, like you hear sounds ahead. Like
Whoa.
there's actual people in that area. You can hear that some of them are trying to get into the boat.
That military fist goes up.
Yeah, it's pretty clear to you now, Eugenia, that you're closer, that there's a decent amount of people in there because they're deciding who will get into this boat. Yeah, there's clearly a hierarchy because there's people already seated in the boat that are not part of this who also gets to accompany. So there's a pecking order, very likely, and
Sorry.
Yes.
You
See?
keep saying that, and I keep being like, what?
Make a lock.
A lock.
mhm.
Oh. I'm like, I cannot work metal.
Boat
that's,
blocks.
that's beyond me. Okay. And Xenia calls rocks to just
Yeah.
Like
lift the boat.
that's the signal. Is basically
I
to
feel-
run in there. No.
I was like, I don't know if it's rocks that she might just do roots that come out and start poking through like through the boat.
Those of you who look ahead see this group like sort of talking and arguing. Some of them look like they carry a lot of weaponry. Some of them look like they have more like merchant class to, you know, aristocracy dress. Everybody's armed. And yeah, like there's a few folks already in the boat, and there's like decisions on, you know, who gets to stay, who will take the next boat on over. As they are discussing what looks like to be a hand made of gnarly roots, like sort of pops up from the canal and sort of wraps roots around the boat.
Yeah. That feels more me.
I yeet that fucking axe down the hallway at whoever seems to be closest to an exit.
Yep. All right. So
That's who,
Yeah.
who we're trying to kill here.
We don't
Apologize.
know.
Oh, okay.
No, we don't actually know
We're not
who
trying.
they are.
We're just fucking with them. 'cause
You
we
may-
want to know who they are.
Oh, okay.
basically,
We know there are rats.
They're
we are
descendants.
we are being threatening.
Oh, I see. Okay.
this is
No, I'm gonna murder someone. I'm gonna
I mean,
murder
that's a
someone.
threat.
Yeah, but I mean that is a threat. You're gonna kill the one, and then we're gonna be like, yay.
Oh yeah, we should take at least one alive because we
Yeah.
want
the
intel.
logic chain from this is that
Look, I try to be finesse, but no one wants to, so I just dug
Yeah.
at this point.
The business
That's
that
finesse.
Rethold purchased,
I very
the
specifically
Ironworks
kept that at only
business,
$2.
Yeah.
That's what my
used to
brawn
be
is.
a shell company owned by your enemy, so people conspiring against San Felipe.
Okay.
The existence of this tunnel might be how people like the assassination squad that hit Salvador
Are getting
the
around.
previous
Okay.
night are getting smuggled into the city, even though there's security checkpoints at the dock and everywhere. So there's entry points into the town and exit points, frankly, because Rethold fired a bunch of the questionable employees based on Luna Maria's intel, and a bunch of them disappeared while
I think-
they got fired.
I think the shell company used to be owned by our enemies. Was the puzzle piece that I didn't have?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So-
Yeah, because that was like right before you joined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so
It's,
that makes more sense.
So yeah, so these folks are
Oh, right.
So, I and Jimena are illuminating this cavern.
Yep.
I assume that they have their own sources of
they,
light.
they do. Yes, they have what look like to be iron lanterns, and there's
Yeah,
Where I'm going.
So basically, yeah, so like
So-
roots come up out of the ground and grab the boat, and then all of their lights go out.
which is what I
Yeah.
and then
And then an axe just.
all they hear
yep, that's
Okay,
right.
I mean
And
that's
then there's
fairly
this-
finessey.
white light of a woman walking through the darkness toward them.
Yeah.
And little
dancing
Yep.
mites.
are
Little
like
sprites.
running on the water.
You see those little sprites actually like in and around, like illuminating as the lights immediately turn off, right? Like these things happen almost at the same time. The boat lifts, the lights go off. There's a lot of exclamations in Castilian.
And then
The
the otherworldly walk.
You hear the gate, get the gate, and
Of course, I get the gate.
the little sprites are sort of arriving at the edge and are just illuminating just enough of the silhouettes. Your axe will hit the closest person, so feel free to roll me.
And then Zhenya's glowing green eyes.
Yep, and we'll go into approaches here shortly, but panic sets. You see the little fire sprites like arrive to the edge, and some of them like seem like they're like kind of like dancing, like they're tracing little circles. Like a couple of them looks like they might be holding hands and just like going circles like on the water.
So cute.
Makes me think of the one scene from Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, that is basically.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. Only instead of being kind of like sparkly stars, they're like tiny little calcifers.
Okay, that's fair.
They don't have faces though. They're just little flames with like legs.
Yeah.
Probably arms.
Yep,
Being like.
Excellent.
they seem to have like spindly little limbs.
I see them like the Easter eggs from Rise of the Guardians,
Yeah.
but as flames.
Yeah,
with
basically.
just the little
Yep.
floppy legs.
So many
How many
ones.
people are there?
You see about,
Okay.
to your count,
Fine.
at least a dozen people in there.
Oh, fun. This water isn't very deep.
From what they're saying, to those of you who speak Castilians, like some people went ahead. This is not the first batch of folks who evacuated.
No, of course not.
There are
That
more
that was
of
a
them.
that was a pre-gone conclusion. I knew once they had a day or two jump on us that many of them had gotten out. But we can find out more.
Yep. You can keep following. You can keep going down the rabbit hole right here. All right. So, approaches.
Fucking rude.
Did we decide? You said we want to keep at least one person alive.
Yeah, and we gotta have someone to interrogate.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think one of us goes, keep one, and I think the rest of us are like, yeah, one, just one.
That's
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
what we do. Fine.
Zhenya is going to
What happened to your eye?
Me?
close.
Your eyes It's all red on one side.
Over here?
You've got like a busted blood vessel.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, on the left.
Oh yeah!
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
On the left side.
You got intense.
I'm sorry, I didn't
On
mean.
the right
I didn't mean for
side-
my family.
Right side of your right eye.
It's hard to see. Well, you like.
Yeah, look.
You gotta look that
Yeah,
way.
look at Jared and take a picture.
Yeah, I can kind of feel it. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I scratched it.
That's
That's
this happened
obnoxious.
while I was asleep, apparently.
Oh,
I woke up and there was just like blood across my nose, and I was like, why?
She
And
was.
then
She messaged me and she's like, "Did you notice a scratch on my face the other day?" Well, no.
I was like, apparently it's at some point when I was asleep, it just went.
I mean,
Rude.
You didn't sneeze particularly hard or anything, did you?
I don't know. I've had a lot going on.
Xenia
here
is
and
going
then,
to
elevation.
close
and
the
then
tunnel.
Yesterday, I
Okay.
pulled out.
So-
my
Gonna close the
contacts.
gate.
Oh,
yeah, get the
area.
and
Maybe
and
just-
what's behind.
Your eyes are protesting.
Mhm.
I'm gonna close the gate area, and then seal off across the water.
Okay.
So like it is now just one tunnel with a little bit of water in the in
No,
between.
did we make another murder tunnel? Nice.
I mean, if they can't
Murder
run,
tunnel.
Yep.
it's
Okay.
easier to murder them all.
We'll go with the resolve roll, and why don't we go with the? Let's go with warfare.
Okay.
Since you're looking at this battle map and figuring out how far you should cut.
So the water generally just goes up to our thighs, right?
Yep.
Unless you're.
Especially for you, like some of the folks here would have it like waist. For you, it will be like mid-thigh.
Okay.
Because you're
Mostly, I'm thinking about for the people in the boat.
you're a giant freak of a man.
That is true. I do have long.
They are a little bit higher on the boat at this point because now there's a root hand sort of like grasping the boat into place. So they're a little bit above.
Yeah. Soon they're not going to be able to escape.
How many raises, Tony, on that axe throw?
12.
How do we feel about
Very
dumping them
yeah.
all?
But I would like to just use 5.
Yeah.
I mean,
5 is enough because that person did not know the axe was coming. And
so I've...
instant.
So she can't super go in the water.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I
I-
see.
Yeah. She's
So,
gonna stay up on the walkway.
I see,
beside
okay.
me.
Because Matushka is my god and gives me all my power, her ex-husband will find any way to kill me. And
'Cause he's
he
the
rules
water god.
the water.
Oh, I see.
She's
So if you're going.
Earth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So if I'm in the air or in the water, it's bad for me.
so you ate a devil fruit, and so you can't swim. Oh,
Yes.
gotcha, okay.
With the other 7,
Yep.
my other axe,
So basically,
I throw
if
counterclockwise
tunnel.
to hit someone in the boat with the handle
water,
to knock them out.
Okay.
the boat is
Yeah.
tangled.
With those two,
Yeah.
What Jenny is going to do
absolutely.
is this.
One of them falls
And
with the
boxes,
axe
so they
firmly
can't go
embedded
back,
between the shoulder
they can't
blades.
go-
Face plants.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That's what
You hear
that's
the
what I'm
clanking of
doing.
weapponry,
His plan was to
but
pinch
that
the boats. They all go flying
not-
in the water.
not-
You totally can't.
dead,
Yeah.
but on its way. Like just
They
like
they'll just be in the water.
like
you
his
know? Yeah.
lungs are filling with blood. And your axe hits everyone square between the eyes, like on the boat, like just right above the nose.
You're gonna have a nasty welt. Like,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And you see the head like jerk back and then just ragdolls into the boat, right?
I think I got the one.
okay.
Okay. The rest, we'll see.
Now you've thrown your ammunition.
As I pull my fork.
Yeah, the barrel fork.
Right.
So Megan has a question.
Yes.
This is not a thing that she thought of previously, but would it be possible to make the fire sprites like stand on top of each other to make one big
And
fire
then wear a
sprite?
trench
Yes. You can stack them.
I was like thinking of the rubies.
They're
in
fire.
Steven
Like they're
Universe.
not.
Yeah.
They're not.
No, I love the idea of them like running in a little row, and then each one hops into the first one, and then it just becomes, and you're like, oh no, Eldritch horror.
Like they play hopscotch, but they just
Into yeah.
Or leapfrog. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, together,
He's got the one
everyone.
in the back that
Jen, you
keeps going
got
from-
11.
Yeah, keeps
11.
11.
That's right.
11.
There we go.
Okay.
11.
All right.
You're
I
cool.
guess I gotta say so. See what I'm doing.
Yep.
Marcus, well, his first plan is not going to work out the way he wanted
You get
it
to
to.
roll
so,
it again. Congratulations.
It's a 10.
So Marcus is just going to charge forward and just grab. He's going to reach up there and grab whatever he can get hold of and drag it and put it into the water.
Yeah.
Just reach up, grab, down into the water.
All right.
Hadouken.
So that will be a brawn and brawl.
Cool, I like that. So I gotta.
Jimena
That's 10.
is going to. So, where are we in? Like, I know we're like up on the walkway, but where are we in relation to the boat?
You're on the side of the boat. So you're on this side. Let's say like there's the walkway going. There's the room right here, right?
Okay.
The boat is there.
Ah.
Next to a set of stairs. There now it's held by this hand, like right here. But it's on the side that you're
Okay.
on. Same side of the walkway.
So, Jimena is just going to jump into the boat.
Oh, okay.
Do you?
No, go for it. Go for
Okay.
it. Go for it. I got.
Yeah.
I got something else I can.
There's people sitting in it, so you'll be jumping amongst.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. Like, so basically, like, is going to draw her sword as she jumps into the boat, and if possible, is simultaneously going to sort of like, well, it's concentration, so she's just going to be like, hey, sprites, just be a person.
Yep. Okay. So why don't you roll me a
Just be people.
finesse and athletics to make that leap, that running leap into the boat as you speak your mental command.
I don't even think I need to help you with all the combat. So, like, do we have any idea of, like, who these people are?
Not particularly.
Well then I'm gonna focus my on the one that just got knocked out, I guess.
Yep.
And try to figure out. I'm just gonna try to trace back to see who sent them.
Okay. You know the roll.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus got an 11.
11.
11.
11.
Everybody gets 11s.
I think 11s are nice and lucky these days.
Yep. Retold, what's going to be your follow-up?
I'm gonna double check that I can activate this. Well, no, we can see.
Yeah.
We can see fine. Okay, cool.
You can see because Genia is
Yeah, and then
phosphorescent
there's
like
the
moss. And
body
there's
of light.
there's
yeah.
little dancing sprites at the edge of the room that gives you a pretty good idea. Plus,
There's now a person made of fire right now.
yeah, that's getting constructed here shortly.
Jimena got 12.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Nice. 12 crew.
I'm seeing Jimena start doing like clone jutsu moves, and then turns it up. He just creates copies of Jimena in made of fire.
Yep. Fire clones would not be a bad.
That would not be a bad thing to add to my.
You can even build that into your sword style as you like are about to get hit, like you sidestep out of an area and there's a Jimena made out of fire that is where you used to be.
After images, yeah.
Nice.
It's anime as fuck.
Yeah,
She
you know,
also has smoke manipulation, so she can make smoke devils.
I've got my one.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my one survivor we can interrogate later. I'm just gonna keep throwing all of my various knives and
All right.
forks.
You grab more ammunition. Fork,
Yeah.
spoon.
Yeah, it's mostly just knives and forks because you can make a knife a spoon if
That's true.
you're really dedicated to it.
I'm the Blue Raja.
If you spend enough time in jail.
And if they give you a bowl, the bowl's the spoon, so it's fine. One,
My dice are working very nicely.
I'd like to only use 6
Yep.
of my raises to seal off the room.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold on to a few.
That one's cocked.
Really?
What if I should save some races to try to
no tens.
veil my attempt
Come on.
in case?
With 14, you can allow you to
Well,
dedicate some of that to
Oh,
veil.
14. That's some Evine
4
shit.
out.
Evine would be in their element right now. Who knows where Evine is?
Evine's here.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that cat. He ain't getting any of these souls.
These are no souls. Those are for you.
Not here, no souls.
No souls for you.
No souls. Ah, come on, Coily. No springs.
Math.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Ugh. I wish there was like something to cough up.
Yeah.
It's just this dumb like. There's no mucus. There's no nothing.
Just cough.
But yes, before you guys had come, I hadn't spoken in 3 hours, which is why my voice was just sort of like, no, we're not doing anything right now.
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
I've been watching Only Murders in the Building, and I'm in the middle of season 2. There's some good shit.
Nice.
Nice.
10 races on this
Okay.
one, so I'm probably going to split it. 5 and 5 for 2 targets.
5, yep.
Yeah.
You got it.
I guess I would probably split mine for 5 for picking him up and 6 for shoving him in the water and making sure he doesn't come back up.
At that level, you can probably grab a couple guys.
Oh, sure. Then I'll do that.
This is a brood squad, so you can go ahead and drown a couple.
Drown a bitch.
Grabs them. Blessed Arzi.
Yep. All right. Well, Marlena, you focus your senses on the passed out person in the boat. You already see the welt forming on their face as people around are starting to get up to grab weaponry. You cast your senses out, so you're trying to see from this person. You see links to some, not all of the people gathered in this room right here. There is some kind of unifying thread, though. Like, you see a lot of the connection, like, head out through the gap in this tunnel, and some of them, like, go straight up, right?
There's only one
There's-
slice of pie left and it's melting.
You should eat it.
You should probably eat it before it
Yeah.
melts.
Leo
Yeah.
wants some?
Leo and Jane had a piece.
Do it.
Yep.
Get it?
Enjoy.
They're yours now.
Some cold shit.
It was like there might be some holes in the bottom of that pie tin,
He's
so
like, giving them a baptism.
You take great care
For the knife.
into veiling your attempt at reading this.
Yeah.
You
That's what
feel
happens. That's what happens. You fuck around. Now you found out.
you feel a certain sense of familiarity.
Which?
These people were not all necessarily working in the same area, but seem to be united
Holy warrior.
under a similar cause.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
You sense a certain same feeling in the connection that you've had with, people from the Inquisition, from the Prophet Sword, from the Assassin Squad that you hit yesterday, right? Like they're basically folks that have been embedded into San Felipe at various points in order to further the Cardinal's mission, right, and maintain a certain stranglehold, and now they're vamoosing out of here. The point, the piece that the person who has ordered them to be here is far, but it all seems to go into a similar direction.
Okay. So, like, far as in not in San Felipe currently.
Probably not, although like you see some sub knots, and some of them are just like further ahead.
Okay.
You get a sense maybe that like evacuation orders were given, and basically the more important people were sent ahead first.
So those ones are also leaving.
You can feel one of these knots casting up ahead past the tunnel into the bay. And the only way that can make sense is if they were boarding a ship.
Okay, so
in
here's
this area.
what I want to do. I don't know if this will count as a new approach or not, but I have a thing called anchor. I want to go one step out from this guy and anchor to one of the sub leaders, I guess, and then just kind of keep that in my head. So basically, I commit a lash.
Yep.
And then I can kind of just have in my head a general direction of where they're going.
Yeah, in your head, like, it feels you're following the thread. You're seeing this knocked out person. You softly put a pin into that spot, and then you cast your senses up the line ahead, and you feel a person in that tangle up ahead, likely on a ship. And you take your pin and mentally sort of move it and pin it there. Like, you get a sense of where that person is now, pretty clear as day.
I put a pin in it.
Yep.
No.
Meanwhile, I'm just like standing there, concentrating on nothing.
You're like this.
Doing the thinking pose while everyone's fighting.
Hey, whatever, man.
No, you got to do the Professor Xavier though.
Yeah,
I see
the
more
dramatic
like
head ahead.
Yep. That thread. Like,
Yep.
No
You
problem.
get that music cue from the original Spider-Man movies pops in. The Danny Elfman cue.
That's right. That's right. All right.
That's my weird fate shit is done. Okay, it's cool.
Marlena.
You're like, I'm trying to check these threads of fate. It's like several of them get drowned. One gets an axe in the
Well,
face.
that's why I went
Chaos
for the one that was
Warrior.
knocked out.
Okay, very good.
That's why she moved the pin ahead too. She's like, okay, now she's
Because
got
it
the
keeps
read
happening.
somewhere in the bay.
No, she's literally
No, it
locked
really
on.
sucks to be
Yeah.
connected when
A
someone
bunch
dies.
of these cords are about to get cut. So if you get it,
No, Marilena's used to this to be like, look, I can't just be doing this to anyone because all of a sudden it just goes.
God damn it.
You know, we all know how frustrating it is when someone's really excited about something and it goes, ooh.
And it goes, oh. It ruins it for everyone.
You know,
Flaccid.
yeah.
So
Why do you have to make it dirty?
I didn't. That just means
Yeah.
it's an
It's
entire.
worse than flaccid.
You're the one making
Let me
it dirty.
blame
No.
you and not me.
You
Do you read?
It's on
Megan
brand
is
for us,
100% right. Nobody has ever said that word and be like,
of
oh,
it, but
fuck
I
yeah,
really don't
flaccid.
read any
Right? Like, that's not...
No.
any longer.
No. That doesn't exist. When that word comes out, it's disappointing for everybody.
That robot has a Spyderco paramilitary.
Yes,
All
I
right.
agree. I know what you're talking about.
Jimena, you
I was like,
pick up
Jeff Chuck,
speed.
are you a knife nerd?
Start as a dash and sword drawn again. Naruto run on the stone steps past the grate and jump into that boat. You make a very graceful landing at the very head of the boat. It barely moves even in the roots. There's a lot of exclamations in Castilians as people sort of rally around the passed out person, pulling weapons on you. And as you're doing this and making a very graceful 3-point landing into the boat, you cast your command, and behind you you see two of the little fire sprite like sort of run up to the water, and then they sort of stand side by side, and they hold hands, and
Cute.
the next two couple sort of hop on, and they jump on their heads, right, like so, and the ones on the top like sort of extend a little hand and help the next two like sort of jump on
It's like one of
until
those big old cheerleading groups that are doing like
Yeah.
a giant like
you have a
tower
little
of people.
pile of fire that now seems to sprout like arms of its own, and it sort of splits at the bottom like to form legs, and it sort of has like a bulbous shape at the top that looks like it could be like a head, like you got a fireman with like very sort of
Yeah, that's
newly like arm getting formed there behind the boat.
I just imagine like
I
her
feel like I've seen
jumping
you
on the
make that
boat
face many
and being right in
times.
the bow, and then like right as she lands, like
Yep.
3-point lands, like as she stands up, just like a fire person
Yep.
like builds behind her, and she's
Yep.
like, "Hola."
It just looms, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just like a weird like shape of fire, like with extended arms.
I imagine the 10,000-volt ghost from Scooby Doo.
Oh, that's a good one.
Made of
Yeah.
fire.
Yep. See, they're made of fire. Like
10,000 BTU ghost.
yeah, it's very bright in that room now.
Now.
All right. Simultaneously, the cavern closes at both ends as rocks. You could swear like teeth, like the rocks like close like a jaw on both sides, way past the grate, and just right behind you, creating this little internal cavern of misery.
Virginia, you're not going anywhere.
As this happens, Rethold starts to unload all of his cutlery onto unsuspected targets.
All the
Just
cutlery.
reaching into the vest and pulling more things.
I think I actually have like 4 or more axes, plus like a bunch of knives. But
Yep.
I guess I'm gonna have to make more forks because that's just more entertaining.
The forks are, yes. The axes come first, then the knives, then the forks.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just start unloading 2
I didn't know that
Folks.
existed. Otherwise, I would have found that one.
2 of the folks like basically get hit and pelted and fall into the water at this point, which is dark as fuck because all the light is at the top. Like there's the fire person that Jimena has like looming over the boat, which eliminates all the water surface, but the moment you leave the surface, it's just dark, murky depths below. Which is where 2 guys also go, because Marcus, you just run up and you grab 2 of them by the scruff. You'll take a couple non-dramatics
Mhm.
from it as desperate flailing of swords and knives happen. And you sort of dunk both of them underwater.
In the name of the Father... Or, crap, I'm doing this. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, I baptize thee.
Yep. Couple more
Or whatever exists in theaters.
folks actually topple into the water after you hear a very loud crack and realize that Ricardo has shot a couple of his pistols.
That one's mine.
Yeah.
I know him as my friend.
I know that guy.
Meanwhile, the brothers are moving up ahead with their gigantic swords now that they have some room to swing these things around and the extra space. Each of them runs up the walkways and start to basically slice, push, or otherwise clear those pathways of people. at least a couple of the folks that they push don't seem like they have fully died, but they're in the water now, so that's something to deal
That's
later.
a them problem.
The end result is that there's a pretty clear path to the boat at this point that has a Jimena and a, I don't know, fire person looming over this. It's like a stick man made out of fire. All right. Next approaches. Now that you're in an enclosed cavern, there's the sound of panic.
How many people are still left alive at this point? I mean, aside from us.
At this point, there's 3 in the water that seem to be thrashing and trying to find perches. Yours basically stops struggling after just a few moments because they're forcibly held underwater and panic is not conductive to them not closing their mouths. So it accelerates what you're trying to do. There's 3 in the water and there's 6 folks left in the boats. Boat. One of which is passed out, but all
And
of
that's
those.
the one we're keeping.
Yeah. So that boat ain't going nowhere now because it's also held into place. Plus, the cavern is completely enclosed.
Marcus is going to draw his small blade and start trying to reap his way through the other 3 that are there in the water.
In the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're closed. You can just let go.
Yeah.
Of the 2.
Let go of the 2 as I stand up, draw the small sword.
Yep.
And then start slashing.
Yeah. One of them at least is coming your way because you're on one of the ledges. Bad pick. But you're tall enough that you're going to be able to reach pretty much all 3 of them.
Roots are going to grow out of the walls and just grab people and suck them into the wall. Not like it's going to be like, the carbonite thing.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
like their faces and some parts of their limbs will
You're
stick
going to
out.
create a modern
As-
sculpture.
as
and
long
use
as
like
that
one
now.
of the
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a genuine sign.
But in this case, to keep them like they're still alive, they're just like they're
Perfect.
they are strapped to the walls by vines or roots.
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Same roll as the previous time.
I'm
Don't
moving.
forget, if you change your approach,
You get a
you
bonus
get an
die.
extra die.
I am going to change my approach, and instead of yeeting, I'm going to walk up and recollect my weaponry, and as I do, use them in a melee capacity.
You're replenishing ammo as you're unloading ammo.
Oh yeah!
Is that a change of my approach? I don't feel like it. I'm just trapping everyone.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimena at this point isn't even really fighting anybody. She's basically just going to intimidate people to get out of the boat so that other people can kill them.
There's like a fucking alligator in the water. It's like, jump in the water.
Because we need the one guy.
Yeah.
But everybody else, and like she's pulling people with roots and they're
Yep.
chopping people and she's
Absolutely.
like... So Jimena is basically just going
keep the lights on, homie.
like... She has her sword and she's just going to call... Oh my god. Like... She's going to meld with the fire person so that she is now on fire. Nice.
Perfect.
And she'll basically take her flaming sword and like poke it, like pierce it into whoever's right in front of her.
Yep.
But like make sure to make eye contact with someone as she does it.
This is a straight panache intimidate.
One question. So, like, when I get a 10 and it explodes, I still just have that 10 sitting there,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay. So I can add,
You
like,
grab,
that's
grab
why I'm
another
doing
one.
this.
Yeah.
yeah.
An exploding 10 is one end.
Yeah.
So you get one raise and whatever else.
Oh wait, you mean if you roll a 10, can you add
Nobody
5 to
fucking
that
hear me
10 to
now,
make
right?
15?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, because
Okay.
That's how I
people
do
have
it.
rushed ahead and you
Yeah,
said
you
it
can
red
you
and
can
Okay,
re-roll
'cause
the
I'm
10
mostly
because
just wanting to
if you
keep
have
track of where
5
this
dots and
is.
it explodes.
But I'm also
Yeah.
got the idea
But if
that we
you
could
don't have that, then yeah, you can
like,
add
save the
5 to
boat
the 10 to
because
make it
make it
15.
easier for
Okay.
us to follow the others.
Because you either
Yeah.
keep the 10 or you re-roll. it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would
You
do.
also
with that.
have
What did I
yeah.
oh, this.
So you want to try to make sure to
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I just want to monitor where this guy is going.
okay. Well, same roll.
6.
Okay.
Keep it just to maintain your concentration and your pain.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I do probably just distractedly say
I rolled
save
lots
boat
of little-
at some point.
Okay.
Little numbers this time.
Yeah.
I rolled
That was
several,
me
I rolled
last
several
turn.
10s
Yeah.
this time, so.
But
That's
that's not helpful.
8 Virginia,
8.
but I still have 5 left over from
Yep,
the
you do.
last time.
You can add those. Especially since it's the same roll, I'll let you apply it, so that
Yeah.
would be 13.
Woohoo!
Once.
Marcus got a 15.
Yeah.
So since I was going after
Marcus.
3 guys, I'm happy to split that into 5, 5, and 5.
That will be enough.
Okay, cool.
They're in the water. Hard for them to see. They have a literal Burning Man close to them, which doesn't help with vision. It creates light, but not in the right way. Like when you stand too close to a campfire and you're like, I can't see shit.
Yeah, Marcus draws, and gauntlet in hand, he swipes to take out the first one, moves over to the next, blocking shots with it, blocking sword strikes and things with his gauntlet, stabbing through another one.
Yep.
And then I got 6.
6.
The water does not stop him because he is too large.
12.
The water knows better.
Yeah, the water gets out of his fucking way.
Or no, 7. Because I had a 10 before.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Slightly better.
I got a 10.
You're not re-rolling 10s, right? You're setting the 10 aside and then rolling another die, right?
Does it matter?
Yeah, because then you get more.
Oh.
So you still count the 10.
Yeah, I still count the
Okay,
10 as
okay,
I
never
count
mind.
it in my brain.
Cool.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh right, I got that 10. I
I'm
should
like,
add
I want
it
you to get all them dice.
No,
Okay.
yeah, no.
Alright, okay.
This is why I got the. That's why I got the chips. That
Yeah.
helps me stack.
Nice.
I'm just an idiot doing this shit while I'm counting.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I do that whenever I have
I don't trust
Yeah.
him, so I use
finesse
extra
and
die.
weaponry because I have so many extra. I'm like, okay, I already have that one and I already have that one. So I mean,
Yeah.
so many ways to get to this. Fascinating to hear
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah,
way to do
it's
math
good,
on this fucking ridiculous. All right, Marcus, you are used to fighting pitched battles and ice and not trust your eyes so much. Fortunately, these guys are flailing in the water and making it easy for you, so you don't even need to look that closely. You can just follow the sound as you draw your sword from your back sheath. You lunge forward and spear the first one right through the skull, and then it's an easy matter at this point to basically shake him off by just jumping your blade slightly so he goes back in the water. And then one swing and a back swing. You feel the satisfying touch of steel hitting flesh both times as you get the last guy right as he was about to grab to the other side of the river,
Mhm.
and you cut both of them down. The 3 of them start to bleed into the water, and before long you have like 5 bobbing bodies just like in the river there, especially since there's no current anymore on this part of the river now because it's closed on both ends. They just sort of gently float at the top. While this is happening, Zhenya, you grab one of the people from the boat with extreme prejudice, and
This is true.
the vines basically pull them into the back wall and just like pull them closer, almost in response because there's a lot of yelling, there's a lot of crying, there's
So bad.
a lot of supplication that happen. Like one of the vines like curls over this guy's face. So it's just muffled, right? As you just like
maybe you should have thought of your life choices. That's why you are here.
If you're not a bad person, I don't have to snap your neck.
Like if you weren't so bad, we wouldn't have to do this to you. No.
Yep.
Did you think about that?
So yeah, that becomes a modern art installation. For
Makes me think of the part in Beetlejuice where
Yeah.
the weird sculptures
Oh yeah.
yep,
take them
Yep.
captive.
exactly. It's just pinned against the back wall. You can see from the light of the fire that Jimenez created two wide eyes sort of darting back and forth, like looking at everything. Not really a sound is made anymore. Jimena in the boat, you sort of lean back into your fire construct to add to the effect as you hold your sword aloft. You can actually feel your little fire sprites, tiny hands like reach out to you. And you feel yourself like lift a foot or two off the boat into the flames and now just like wrap around your form. It's like your head and your arms. So
full Dark Phoenix.
basically,
I'll
right?
lift you up for you.
Yep. Yep. You hear that little song into your ears. So yeah, you're now like right above the boat. You know, just wreathed in flames. Your sword held to one side, and that is enough. You hear the thud of the guy with a welt on his face as the people that were holding him, like you hear his head hit the bottom of the boat.
You'll probably be alright.
Because fuck that. And they are into the water. Fortunately, that makes a ton of noise and you create a lot of light, and you see a bunch of them like dive into the water, and then you see various implements, axes, knives raining down upon them before they could do anything. So a bunch of them get hit by Rethold as they hit the water. Oscar and Emil help with the rest at the other side. So like people scattered away from the boat and they're like, fuck, we're not dealing with this lady. Right into the arms of death waiting for them.
Death is everywhere.
The last one
Death
tries
is
to
on
climb
ground.
ashore, and you hear a crack as Ricardo just square hits him in the face with the butt of his rifle, shattering several teeth and sending the man just into the dark waters below. There is now a man embedded in the wall, one passed out in the boat. The boat is intact. Everybody else is dead. Marlena, you keep a bead on ahead. You don't sense movement, so the boat or the person is not moving quite yet. But
They
you
were
have
probably
waiting for these people.
you
Oh,
have
absolutely. As soon as they see the fighting's over, I'm gonna relay all of this.
you feel a sense of trepidation though. Like there is that person's not moving yet, but it's
They
kind of
should have
like
been here by now.
we gotta get out of
So-
here.
As soon as Marielena shares that, so you share that,
Yeah, of course.
I go, we need to get to the street. Most direct route, you still got that in you?
She looks up and just
Some poor guy in a cart is like,
My cabbages!
Yeah, actually, roll me a resolve empathy.
excellent.
We'll see if this happens. Yes.
I'll Also, we should reopen this tunnel because it is just like a drainage.
That was gonna be
Yeah.
that was gonna be my next.
Well, this can be done in one move.
Yeah.
That's empathy. This is resolve.
becomes a sweet spiral. Earthen works.
Yep.
Resolve, because I have 6. And
Yeah.
here's my auto tune.
We also have to take the unconscious man with us.
Oh yeah, no. This gets me to Jose Correo, which gets a message out to the ships to hold the ship.
Ah.
Yes. So Marlena,
Yes.
where's the ship in the bay?
I mean, I can tell you that, right?
Yeah,
Can I tell you
yeah,
that?
yeah.
I have like an idea
You get
of
a
distance.
you know the bay enough.
Yeah.
Like you can
Yeah.
you can extrapolate from the details of Maryland.
I could probably just like take that map we just got and
Yeah,
somewhere in
yeah.
this direction.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I'll ping it on your mini map.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Nah, love it.
Yeah, I have a mental pin and I put it on the map and now it's a map pin. Yeah.
Do the thing like in Skyrim where you can like switch which like
Oh,
thing you're focusing
Yeah,
on.
which map marker
Yeah.
you've got up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Which quest is active?
You're good. You open a hole.
As are the cabbages.
Yep. The cabbages are unspoiled.
For now.
Unspilt.
Yep. You hear for now.
For now.
Gonna roast these fucking cabbages.
What are your guys' job? Well, we're supposed to walk back and forth across the street with this pane of glass. And this guy's supposed to make sure we got plenty of chickens and watermelons on hand all the time.
You do hear from up above, son of a, as you hear the sound of wheels on cobblestone, and somebody manages to veer away from the hole you created.
Oh, lucky you.
But nobody falls through. You sort of manage to get a read on where people were mostly, and yeah, you open that hole safely. So yeah, are you gonna send the man up? Are you
No,
gonna
so-
all go up?
So because Zhenya is amazing at what she does, I imagine I go for a little escalator ride.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
I go
yeah.
for a little escalator ride with the earthenwork.
It's not a clean straight drop. It
No, it's a
looks like
few-
it looks like the inside of a horn.
No, yeah, beautiful.
I figured it was just like a vine goes up and he catches it and then goes up with it.
Oh yeah. also glorious.
Like a zip line.
Yeah. And I pop up to the street and I pull out the 2 coins and click them together and I'm like, Jose!
Yeah. Does not take long. Yes, boss.
You call rocks, he calls Jose.
We all have our superpowers.
Jose.
Yeah.
Well, I can also call
What
upon
is
my
it, boss?
gods
What can I do for you, boss?
and
Yeah.
ask them for favors.
And I like just
But
point to
someone
the
doesn't
bay.
like that.
Are we close enough to it that I can
Yeah, you can
probably
point to
pick out
bay.
the ship?
Yeah. You can see the sails like out in the distance because you're kind of up on the hill.
And who do I? You know, it's the one I thought about first, and let's fucking go with it. I go, run to the guild house, and tell them my aunt needs to take over that ship.
Yep, you got it, boss.
Attaboy!
And he is on his way.
Get it.
And we'll be right behind.
Okay.
All right, that should help. Okay.
All right. This is in motion. I'll let you use the same breath of power, Lisa, to also reopen the waterways.
We'll just let everything fall.
But yeah, I come cackling down the vine zip line.
Yeah. Hey, does this pole still work? Wee!
Yep.
This place is great. Take it.
Yep. Like Tigger, woohoo, like down.
I'm like, don't worry about the hole. I'll have him put a cool rain drain over it. It'll be good. Or would you close it back up?
I can close it up.
Okay, whatever you like. You
It
know.
just knits back together. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's terrifying. Okay.
You leave it to road work, like the next day there's like a piece of plywood like on the top.
The perfect.
You know,
Yeah,
like
that'll hold,
bending.
right?
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Just put
Good
cones
enough
up
for
around
With
it.
the word "whole" spray painted over it.
Yep.
It's gonna have one of those like crudely drawn like person falling things
Yep.
on
Yep.
it.
Yep. All right.
I
So
feel
with
like-
that, the hole is closed back. You're back in the tunnel.
I feel like these people are just
And-
never gonna like trust the floor ever again.
Well, there's
that
a very
I know.
there's a
They
very
probably shouldn't.
traumatized cart driver up there because a sinkhole opened, and now like he's gonna stop the carriage and tell his crazy story, but that hole is not
gone.
there anymore. So maybe that man has just ruined his career. Who knows?
That's
All right.
his problem.
So with that, you're back in the tunnel. You'll be able to continue to follow that.
Yeah, we'll tie off. We'll make sure the boat's tied off. Throw all the bodies in the boat,
Yep.
and then those can be collected later by some of my guys.
Yep.
And then we have the two unconscious / detained. We'll tie up the unconscious one, preemptively gag him, and then yours isn't going anywhere anytime soon, so they're good.
Yep.
Yep.
You'll be able to follow that, and you've also flagged your and Rethel to make sure that boat does not leave the bay. And that will be our pause point for tonight. We'll continue this fun chase next time.
Huzzah!
Yes.
Give yourself a 4 XP for crazy shenanigans once again.
We are
Good folks.
so good at that shenanigans.
Well, it's that is your
Never heard
real
anyone refer to shenanigans.
shenanigans.
Don't get your shenanigans in a boat.
That is your
Yeah.
that is your real superpower.
Shenanigans.
Give me that plate.
The shenanigans.
No, plate.
Sorry, I know English.
Can you borrow a pencil real quick? I just need to adjust my XP.
All right, say goodnight, internet.
Good night, Internet.